Well, hello there, baby. I'm here with my boy Jay Soul. You guys know how much I respect this guy. Unbelievable person. And we're about to discuss the power of perspective. Okay, we're going to freestyle it. I think this is an important topic. Okay, your mindset, your perspective, how it can be changed, how it influences you, how it can influence other people, how we all have different perspectives, and we don't always have to judge those who have different perspectives to us. So I'm here with my boy Jay Soul. I've got him on the line. How you doing, mate?
I'm great, lad. Thank you so much for having me again.
No, absolute legend, mate. And you've been excited all day to have this chat about perspective, haven't you? You think this can be really influential in people's lives, this live?
Yeah, mate. Hold on, I'm going to just check my mic here.
Yeah, I can hear myself through your...
Here. Okay, it's a lot better, man.
Yeah, hopefully I can't hear my voice through your phone.
Yeah, keep whatever you're doing right now, keep it how it is, because I was listening from my computer. It sounds really good.
Okay, perfect then. So you get started, mate. I'll say my piece, but I'm really interested on your insight, what you mean by the power of perspective and how important it is. So can you give me any examples?
Yeah, lad. So I'll just give y'all some backstory. Today at lunchtime, I just got this download that Adam and I had to go live and talk about the power of perspective this week in particular. I was told that it can't be next week, so it has to be this week.
And I was saying that's probably because of Mercury retrograde. That ends June the 2nd.
Indeed, lad, because I felt the retrograde really intense early on because of that eclipse, full moon, all of that energy with the retrograde, and then it died down as of a few days ago. But then recently, within the last couple of days, I started feeling it again emotionally.
Same. Yeah, same.
Nice. Yeah, we're always in sync, lad.
I know, it's amazing. So what's this backstory then?
So basically, I was just called for us to do this right now. So now let me tell you what I'm feeling. So the power of perspective. Now your perspective can change the object you're thinking about, the event that has happened, will happen, or is happening, or even a person's role in your life. You're just simply by shifting your perspective with intensity. So an example I had today, obviously after I had the download, was that there's this drink that I enjoy at the grocery store. It's like a probiotic type drink, you know, and there was only one left of my favorite flavor. And honestly, I could have been like, wow, usually it's stocked up. What's going on here? And then spiraled off in a negative direction. But instead I said, look, there could have been zero. And there could have been zero of my second favorite flavor, but there were tons of those. So I looked at it like, wow, I get to drink my favorite one, and I get my second favorite, and there's another one, like an alternative flavor that I kind of like too. So I just let it be good for me rather than a situation where I'm like a victim or something.
Can I ask you what your favorite flavor is?
Yeah, my favorite flavor right now is pomegranate.
Pomegranate, baby! Pomegranate.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And then lemon ginger is my second favorite.
Lemon ginger, okay. All right. And these drinks are really good for you, for your immune system?
I mean, I think they're good. Mate, I'll be honest. I wanted to tell you this. This is funny. I noticed in the truth community, people tend to say that everything's bad for you, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's certain pages and people I'm avoiding now. Like somebody was saying that, you know, I like a Yorkshire tea, a cup of tea every now and again. And they're saying, oh no, if you have tea, it's so bad for you, and the tea bag's made out of plastic, and it's going to make you really sick. I'm like, I don't know about that. I've been drinking tea since I was about 7 years old, and I'm pretty goddamn healthy. So why do you have to? There's certain people in this community where everything's bad for you, everything sucks. Like it's like those people could very well have been hired to keep you on a low frequency. Those people.
Yeah.
Although they're very intelligent and it seems like they're doing good, I know what they're doing. I stay away from them.
Mate, it's their perspective that needs to change.
Yes.
Because check this out. I've heard, this may be classified as like new age or whatever, but to be honest, I've heard that your perspective, your feelings towards whatever you're drinking or eating actually changes the vibration of that item.
I believe so, yeah.
And I've experienced it myself. Like when I'm in a kind of like in maybe a less positive mood, right? Like maybe in a negative just wave, then the food I'm eating doesn't taste as good, and the whole situation just doesn't develop the way that I'd enjoy it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's just it all comes down to mindset, doesn't it? And I think with perspective, everyone has a perspective, don't they? On practically everything. But I think the key, like anything, is to have a balanced perspective, like a balanced perspective, a balanced diet. Just not be too obsessed with anything. But people have certain perspectives and views of things, and whatever information that's provided to them, this is cognitive dissonance. They deny the information. They can't actually change the perspective, or is can't a strong word? They just don't want to. Maybe everybody can. Or do you think there's actually people out there who don't have the literal capability or the ability to change the perspective? Because perception can be very deceiving, can't it? It can be very deceiving.
Yeah, because I'll give you a couple examples to answer that question, and to answer your question earlier. I do think these probiotic drinks are good for us. Personally, I feel really good. I go based on my subjective experience. So I don't go based on what a doctor says or what the TV says or what. It's
like when the people say, "Is it nice?" It's like, I think it's nice. You might think it's disgusting when people say, "Is it nice?" Like, it's not universal. Like, yeah, it's nice, so everyone's going to enjoy it. It used to annoy me that.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So I feel really good when I drink them, and I feel like they balance my stomach more, even though I already eat really good. So I'm not going to sit here and try to research, is this really bad for me because some people think it is.
It's like the whole thing I say, that how you got to find your own truth. You can't just type it into Google. Exactly. Is this good for me? Is this bad for me? What happens when I die? This, that, and the other. You're going to get multiple different perspectives on the same question.
Yeah, and just because you oppose the masses does not necessarily mean you're right about everything, right? So So if the masses have a general understanding that vegetables and fruit are healthy for you, and you say, well, no, they're not, well, who's right then? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's the whole thing. You argue till you're blue in the face and nobody wins, with so many arguments and so many debates. And when you just open up,
worth arguing.
Yeah, you open up and you accept that we have different perspectives. There's certain things that are not universal truths. There's certain universal truths, like we need to eat and drink and have shelter and all of those things to stay alive.
Well, maybe. Who knows?
I get what you're saying, but in the sense of like opinions and perspective, like you always hear you're wrong. Like if somebody says, for example, people still do this, Messi's better than Ronaldo. They're the two most famous footballers right now. And then I could say Messi's better. No, you're wrong. It's Ronaldo. It's like, I'm not wrong, mate. Like, and I'm not necessarily right either. It's my perspective. Like when people say, no, you're wrong. I think pasta's nicer than pizza. No, you're wrong, mate. There's not a chance. You're wrong. Pizza's way better. It's like, what? What the fuck are you on about, mate? I'm not wrong.
Mate, the biggest thing is that we're able to have a balanced perspective, as you said. So the big thing that's happening right now that I've noticed is that, especially in America, maybe in the world too, but I'm just in America specifically where I am, is that people are unable to disagree respectfully. And the way that we heal this, I believe, is to start building the connections with each other again. And what I mean by that is, two people, someone might be pro-choice, someone might be pro-life, right, with the abortion thing, or someone might be, pro-mask and other people don't want to wear a mask. Well, here's the thing, mate. If we eliminate those things from the conversation for a moment and we look at each other in the eyes and we see that, look, we both love, let's say we both love pasta, like you said, pasta, or we both love rap music, or whatever else, mate.
Yeah.
These perspectives that we have that are similar, we're able to connect with each other emotionally, and when we do, there's a magic there, mate, and then we can start respectfully disagreeing about.
Well, there's the famous quote of agree to disagree, and move on.
Yeah,
you agree to disagree. It is what it is. There's no winner. There's no loser. It's just okay. Fair enough. You do what you do, and I've got a little bit better than that. I've told you I used to get wound up and people driving around in the car with a mask on by themselves with the windows up. It used to annoy me, but then I was like, no, that's on them. That's what they want to do. It's in no way necessarily hurting me. It's what they want to do. And I've got much better at that.
Well, because in a way, them wanting you to put one on and you wanting them to take one off is actually the same. You'd both be more comfortable if the other was following your side. You know what I mean?
Well, what screws us up the most in life is the picture in our head of how it is supposed to be.
Right. Yes, mate. Yes.
We have this perspective. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. And if it's not this way, then it's bullshit. It's like, no.
That's amazing, mate.
Yeah, the whole thing, like with your perspective. I always say your thoughts dictate your reality, and if you change your perspective, you can change your world, and you can change. Yeah. You can change the world of other people in a sense if you're spreading positive energy and you're trying to influence people in a good way rather than provide. Too many people give their energy to negativity, don't they? And proving people wrong.
Yes.
Rather than trying to understand other people's perspective, like why other people do what they do. Like the guy's not wearing a mask in his car to piss me off as I'm cycling past him, is he?
Exactly. He's not made. He's doing whatever he feels is the right move for him. And the thing is that I may not. I'll give you another example. Is that for me, you know, I love dogs, right? I'm a big fan of dogs. I think they're gorgeous, beautiful animals.
Yeah.
And you know, let's say that I had like two of my dogs when I was walking, and someone else is like deadly afraid of dogs. I'm not walking my dogs near them because I somehow know psychically that they're
have a fear.
Not to say there's not psychic powers, but what I'm saying is that I'm not walking towards them because of that. I'm walking towards them because that's the route that I decided was best for me.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said, "True, make things work for you. Go vigilante." And hey, Unlock MCG. Yeah, make things work for you. I do agree with that, and that's not being selfish. People always think if you want to look out for yourself that you're a selfish person. No, the most important person in your life is you.
It's opposite, mate. Because for someone to tell me or you to put a mask on to make them feel better is selfish.
That's true.
Selfish because they're thinking of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. What about a good thing with perspective, like is artwork? Like drawing, painting, sketches, whatever it is. You can have certain people see a certain piece of art and say that is the most incredible, beautiful thing I've ever seen. And then other people say, what is that shite?
Mate, I'll give you a personal example with what you're saying right now.
Okay.
I have a friend that is really talented at rapping, and I sent him some of my music, and I mentioned we could collab sometime.
Nice.
And he basically, you know, he just said he feels like I need work and that we're not on the same vibe. And, you know, for a while I was kind of like, wow, he didn't even give me like one compliment, you know? So then I asked him, and he said something to me, but it was kind of a backhanded compliment, like where he said like, well, you're not boring type thing. Instead of saying you're exciting, you're not boring.
There's such a way to deliver information, isn't there? Where there's genuine compliments, where you're giving people like constructive feedback. And then there's the like, yeah, it wasn't boring. It's like, what is that? Like,
so mate,
what does that mean?
So then I was kind of introspective about it, and I was kind of feeling down, like, man, maybe I should just give this up. But then check this out. So after that, I sent it to a friend of mine who's more spiritual and more on our vibe, right? Like,
Yes.
he's awakened to the world stuff, and he's spiritual. So I sent it to him, mate, and he says to me, to be honest, that made my day listening to those.
And how does that make you feel when you hear that?
Mate, it took me from feeling like, oh man, I don't know if I should do this, to I'm gonna keep doing this.
Well, people truly do underestimate the power of words, don't they?
Yes.
Whatever you want to say about language, one word, yes or no, can completely dictate how you feel about a certain day. Will you marry me? No. Okay, cheers. One word.
Mate, the second person that I sent it to, my other friend, the spiritual friend, I sent him the constructive criticism that first person sent to me, and this guy was telling me, don't listen to him. You're doing amazing, and gave me all the support and love and feedback, positive feedback. That it was a complete different perspective, mate. But my song was the same that I sent to both of them. That's the interesting part.
Of course, yeah. Everyone's going to have a different perspective of whatever it may be: artwork, music, athletes, the education system, sexuality, religion. Like, everyone has a different perspective. Food, yeah, whatever it may be. But yeah, if everybody went around doing what made them happy without intentionally trying to hurt people, the universe would be glorious.
That's where we're moving towards, mate. I can feel it.
You can. It's like dress sense as well. Oh my God, look what he's wearing. But if that person feels comfortable in it spiritually, and why should you care how that person looks? Like,
mate, think about if we all wore the same thing and thought the same way and did the same things, we'd actually be robots. So it's really important that we have people that are eccentric and that'll wear, bright yellow, or that'll wear a dark black, or that'll wear different things, because it's exciting, mate. It's creativity. And that's, when people say, like, you want to be like God and godly and not like the devil or whatever, it's like, well, what does God do? God creates. So you want to create rather than destroy. So you want to, like, create maybe a new outfit, or create a song, or create artwork.
Creativity is sacred.
Don't put down someone else's artwork. Make your own.
Yeah. Yes. It's like, I guess you could say it with the coding community. When people are like, your code sucks, it's like, just focus on your code. I'll focus on mine, and it is what it is. Like, you're giving too much energy to my work, which you could be actually giving to your own work to make your work better.
Yes, bro, exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that, so I could say that, the sync with Matthew Stafford, 625 weeks exactly to the last Rams Super Bowl, and the Rams got their 625 win.
Mate, you're talking about Matt Stafford. There's 10 in the live, 9 likes, and Matt Stafford wears number 9, and Cooper Kupp number 10. You got your 109 there.
Man, the Los Angeles 109.
Yeah, and 109 is the 29th prime. LA Rams made it 29th Super Bowl win for the NFC, and 29 is the 10th prime for Cooper Kupp getting the MVP. Number 10.
Yes, mate, that's sensational, mate. But I saw that someone else saw that sync besides me, but I did find that on my own, as you know.
Oh yeah, so good, amazing.
But the point is that I could say that, and then someone else could say, like, let's just say someone else would say, I don't know, but maybe that, the Super Bowl was on 13-2, and the last time the Rams won the Super Bowl was 130-2000, and if you eliminate the zeros, it's 13-2 again. And now both of those things are incredible, in my opinion. Those are actually two things that I found, but someone else might think that the gematria is way more important than those two things I just shared with you, and it's all perspective, right?
And it's as well, when I post my codes, obviously I get way more right than wrong. If there's certain people in my community who go, I'm not really feeling that code, or I actually prefer this team, then go with your gut.
Yeah, go with your gut.
Yeah, if that's what you really believe at that point, I ain't gonna like get upset. I'll say I embrace it when people go, you know what, I'm actually gonna go against your illusion. And if I get it right and I'm right, I don't go, oh, maybe you should have listened to me. And if I'm wrong, I'm like, good for them.
Oh, absolutely,
Good,
mate.
good for
Absolutely.
them. Somebody's asking this. This is
Yeah.
deep. Well, it's not really a question. It's from Jesse. This is deeper than any of us can imagine. What's your response to that?
Well, absolutely, mate. But we got to get, start somewhere.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. We got to start somewhere.
We got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the key things with perspective as well is open-mindedness, being open-minded. A lot of people are super close-minded about the way they see the world, whether it is politics or, like you said, religion or God or whatever it may be, coding, numbers, whatever it is. People are so close-minded and always making assumptions all the time. Always making assumptions and thinking they're always right. Like it's a competition. The truth is not a competition, which I said in my song. It really resonated when I said that. Truth's not a competition.
Yeah, that's powerful. Mate, that's so powerful. I was at the gym in the sauna and I was talking to this guy and something told me to bring up gematria, which for you who don't know, gematria is the coding of numbers into words, and there's many ciphers in which they do that. When I say they, it's a very good question who that even is. But the point is that I brought it up to this guy, and he said, well, I don't believe in that. Well, I said, it's not something to believe in. It's math. It's mathematics. So I said to him, there's words that are connected mathematically, and there is no way that they could not be correlated because the words themselves are connected and the numbers are connected. So it's like a double proof.
Yeah. Exactly. So that word, I don't really like that word, but I know what you mean. I don't really like the word proof. But
proof is a math term, is a mathematical term that's used like in geometry and different sectors of mathematics. So I don't mean proof like, oh, that's the truth. I mean proof like mathematically.
Yeah. Undeniable.
Undeniable. I love that word.
Yeah, I use it a lot. Like when I do a lot of my lives and codes, a lot of the stuff I present are undeniable. So if I say this player scored this amount of goals and this amount of appearances, it's undeniable.
Right.
Like people go, what do you mean it's undeniable? I'm like, he played this amount of games, he scored this amount of goals. What I'm presenting is undeniable.
It's on every professional website, and if you don't trust the professional sports websites that have been doing this for however many years, then you pretty much don't have any sources.
That is very true. What about this? A shift in perspective opens a completely new set of unlimited possibilities.
Certainly, mate.
Change your perspective. Change your perspective. Change your lives. No, I've actually just right now. I'm looking at some quotes. You know how much I love quotes.
Yeah, I know, mate. That was powerful. I'll say this. I definitely deal with some closed-mindedness inside of myself, and it's different than when I was growing up. Though the fact that I see the world much differently now, as far as the script and theater of it, and some humor as well. It's tough for me to be open-minded to what people have to say about this reality when I'm, pretty certain that they're not like in tune with the same things that I've learned, like with numerology, with the politics, the awakening, etc. But the truth is that we can learn from people. But if you feel in your heart, not your ego, but your heart, that you're not going to learn from someone, don't
stay
put
away.
The energy. What led?
Stay away. Just stay away.
Exactly. I thought you said wait.
No. Stay away. Keep going.
Just stay away. Just stay away. If you really in your heart, though, not in your ego, but in your heart, feel that you can't learn from someone, just stay away from them.
Yeah, let it go. Let it, like they're saying, Frozen, let it go. There's definitely a time and a place to let things go. What about this, bro? Your perspective will either become your prison or your passport.
Yes. I love that.
It's
Mate.
amazing,
That's
isn't it? The
powerful.
way you see certain things really can limit you. Your
Yes,
fears.
mate.
Fear is perspective as well. What I may be scared of, other people might get excited doing. Like, I don't know, swimming in the ocean, for example, going really far out. People love that. Whereas with me, I only go a
Yeah.
certain level. That's perspective. Somebody's
It is,
asking
mate.
this. Can you ask your guest how far back this illusion goes? Meaning, I don't know, the Matrix, this whole system. Do you think some people say it's just been a couple of centuries that they've created this Matrix, as people call it, this satanic system? Or do you think from the very beginning of time, the world's been set up in this way as it is right now? Or do you think historically things have changed? Because the history we've been fed is bullshit. We know that at this point. Again, I guess that comes down to perspective and how you feel about that. I think the majority of history that's been reported is a lie. So do you think from the very beginning of time that the world's been this whole illusion, and it's meant to be an illusion because we're not supposed to know everything, because mystery is beautiful? What do you think?
Wow.
That's a tough question.
I commend whoever asked that question. That's a great
The
question.
person who asked this question was Unlick MCG.
Well, much love to you, my friend. That was a very good question.
Yeah, very good.
My answer is this. This may be a little bit lame, but I'll explain it. I don't know enough to answer as far as how long this has been happening. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
None of us do. I don't think any of us do.
Well, I've heard from people like Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza. Those are cool. Those are some cool guys. Greg Braden talks about how apparently humanity was dropped here between 100,000 and 300,000 years ago, and we don't know how we got here. I've heard that it's millions. I've heard that it's thousands. I don't know. But
mate, I've literally heard, and something resonates with me with this, that it's been a few hundred years or less that we got here. Yeah, seriously. We always go about millions and billions of years ago. I feel like man, as we know it, humans, have only been here in this realm for a few hundred years. Like, if you think about it, who's the oldest man to ever live? I don't know the exact answer to that. 120 maybe? I don't know.
Either.
If anybody can, who is the oldest person?
I thought I heard of someone being 130. Have you heard that?
No.
I thought that was recent. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that was recent. Someone who was like 130.
And again, when you type in things like who is the oldest person to ever live, like, how do we know that? Have they been recording it from the very first person that was put here? They're saying 122 years. Gian Kalman, 122, like satanic, like Kobe's highest scoring game, 122. And she was French, of course, where the Jesuits founded. It could be utter bullshit.
Mate, here's the thing with that question though. So with my decoding career, which is actually not as long as y'all might think it would be, but I've seen things that were, as far as the numbers go, I don't have proof of Christopher Columbus or the Duke of Orleans.
Well, Christopher Columbus, CC like 33.
Indeed, mate. But I don't have proof of these people existing, but I do have proof of them being synced up to different events that I decoded.
Yes, you just took the words. You took the words right out of my mouth. Mate, you and I, we don't know the answer to everything historically. We don't know everything that's going to happen in the future. You and I can sync up. Oh, we can sync up undeniable connections between, I don't know, who did we always have in our codes that are always synced up? JFK, Pope Francis, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, LeBron. Who else did you like to use in your codes?
It was dependent on the teams, but in anything Atlanta or Milwaukee related was Hank Aaron related.
Yep.
I actually had a code. Check this out. This is one of my last codes I did was No one gave me any respect for it, which is why I didn't bet on it. And then I was fucking right about.
But that's why you got to have that belief in yourself. You know what I mean?
But listen to this, mate. It was the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild playing in a hockey game.
Yeah.
And I looked back at the Super Bowls, and I think it was Super Bowl 9. I'm actually going to check really fast so I'm not misspeaking. Okay. I believe it was Super Bowl 9 was when Minnesota played Pittsburgh. I'm just going to check right now.
I'm sure you're right with your memory.
Minnesota played Pittsburgh in Super Bowl 9, and I had a code that Evgeny Malkin would get his 505th goal, which he did. He got it in overtime to win the game, and that Pittsburgh would win because the numbers were synced up to Super Bowl 9, which was many years ago.
So what do you think they're doing, mate? Like, do you think they say history repeats itself? Do you think we're on this endless loop?
That makes a lot of sense, man.
And it just keeps going round. It's like, okay, this is what's going to happen now. And can it be stopped? Or is it we keep saying, or Zach does, it's the Jesuits. What if there's a universal loop? They understand it's that universal loop and take advantage of it, whilst the rest of us are oblivious to it. That makes more sense to me than man. My mate Nathan, my best mate in England, he basically says how good my work is, but it's like, you've got to be careful with the word scripted, Adam, because people instantly think you're talking about man writing things. And he's right. But then you have the scriptures in the Bible. Like, is this whole world scripted? You've got the scriptures that are playing out. Script.
Mate, there's no way that the Jesuits are making Matt Stafford be exactly 625 weeks from the Rams Super Bowl and then having the Rams win their 625th win 22 years later. There's no way, mate. There's no way that is what is like. What it is, mate, is this. I'll tell you this, is that they do probably manipulate and take advantage of the code that they understand, but they're not coding everything.
Yes, yeah, they've infiltrated the organic code is what I say to everybody.
And it's still organic, mate, because something is giving them the thought to do what they're doing. And that's actually, I'm not going to even bring up the person's name, but there is a decoder in the community that said what I just said, and I actually resonate with that part of it. I do.
Okay.
I do resonate. Something is telling these people to do what they're doing, and whatever is telling them to do that is still part of the matrix.
So do you reckon like the royal family and everyone who goes on to become a president and high-rank politician and major icon, do you think there's more chance they're aware of the code or that none of them have any idea?
Well, they have to be aware that they're evil.
No, but are they aware of the code? How does Jay Saul and let's can I say your name or keep it at Jay Saul?
We'll keep it Jay Saul.
How can Jay Saul and the Illusion gather this knowledge about gematria and numerology and make these incredible connections for these people with major influence, power, unlimited wealth, knowledge, to not know what we know? Like
it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty pathetic if they don't know.
Well, do you think that the Illuminati were founded in 1776, the same year the Declaration of Independence was signed?
Right.
And Queen Elizabeth was born 1,776 days after Philip. Is that organic? Is that why they got together? Because of the 1776? Or are they lying about their dates of birth, which is a real possibility? We've seen them change people's date of births. And if they are changing people's date of births, why? Why did they change the Packers' date of birth, the Packers coach, Matt LaFleur? They changed his date of birth.
They changed Chadwick Boseman. I had codes with him in it because he was a big icon. He was the star of Black Panther and the 42 movie with Jackie.
And they said he died at 42 and changed it because people started connecting all the 42s with him. He died at 42, didn't he? And then they changed it.
They changed it because, let me tell you why they changed it. I decoded it, mate, in my opinion, right?
Okay.
the reason that they changed Chadwick Aaron Boseman's birthday, Chadwick Aaron like Moses' brother. Now listen, Chadwick Boseman's birthday was changed because the new date of birth, which is in 1976, is exactly, if you include the end date, it's exactly 525 months.
Wow,
his birth
Floyd.
to his death.
Wow.
And George Floyd died on 5/25/2020. And Chad, and anyone can look it up on Gematrinator or timeanddate.com. 11/29/1976 to 8/28/2020. It's 525 months if you include the end date. Anyone can look at that. That's mathematics.
That's phenomenal. I want to ask you this: like, Chauvin supposedly killed Floyd. I know you don't like discussing things like, I don't believe Floyd died. You're like, it is what it is, aren't you? I don't believe George Floyd was murdered in Minnesota.
I don't have an opinion. He may have, he may not.
Okay, and it don't change much because you're talking about facts with numbers, aren't you? We can go. I can say to you, George Floyd never died. You can say, well, I think he did. We'll never know, probably. But when it comes to that 525, you can't dismiss it, is what we're saying, yeah.
I like to focus on what is provable. I guess provable might not be a good word, but I like to focus on what we can control, and the fact that it is exactly 525 months. That is something that, like you say, undeniable.
Well, what do you think about this? That the guy who supposedly murdered him, Derek Chauvin, was born 319, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brady won the Super Bowl 55, 319.
Yep.
And then he retired 319 days before Pope Francis's birthday.
Right.
What is that? And is that completely organic? Or is somebody said, Brady, today you're going to retire because of these numbers, and you're going to come out of retirement 40 days later because Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights? Do you think Brady has any idea? Because he's come out and said he owes his success to his wife because his wife's a witch. He said that. I owe my success to my wife because she's a witch. She tells me to partake in rituals. I do them. And whatever she says is going to happen, happens. And people have just dismissed that. He said that. Doesn't mean we know for a fact she's a witch because he said it. So what I'm getting at, do they have any idea? Like, do you think Brady knew he was fucking with us by retiring? Or do you think genuinely on that day, this person, if he is a person, really thought, I'm done. My career's done.
I'll bring it back to this, mate. It's the power of perspective. Okay. And what I mean by that is that A, it doesn't matter if he knew or not. But B, in my opinion, in my perspective, it doesn't matter if he knew or not. But I'll tell you this. The majority of people that are decoding are focusing on something, right? They're focusing on sports, or they're focusing on their life, or they're focusing on something, right?
Yes.
But the big thing is that this is supposed to be a positive and fun experience. And when I say supposed to be, I mean for us to enjoy it. It doesn't have to be. You can be negative if you want to be.
Do you mean decode? Do you mean decoding, or do you mean life?
Decoding,
okay.
Specifically, because you asked if they're aware of the code.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this. I don't really care if Tom Brady just honestly didn't know and he just retired that day organically or not. Because in my life, mate, in my personal life, every single day is synced up. And I see signs.
Same, bro.
Day, so.
The more you get away from pro sports and distractions and Hollywood and movies and the mainstream media, the universe actually communicates with you, and it communicates with you via numbers, not via words, via numbers and energy and frequency. Like I was saying, we're going to write a song. We're going to call it Angels, and then I had that moment where the song Angels came on in the car right after somebody asked me, why are you so good at what you do? I said, it's angels guiding me. That song comes on. And then today I go get my car fixed, and the mechanic was called Angel. And what was your connection with Angel the other day?
Yeah, so I sent you a text saying our first song should be called Angels. And I said it because, again, I was being guided to tell you that. Now, immediately after I closed the app that I texted you with, immediately I went into, there's a little game I like playing on my phone. And my first opponent, it said angel, but with an E. So it was just Engel, but it was spelled just like angel, but with an E. And some words, I'm pretty sure some words, the E and the E sounds like the A. I'm not going to come up with an example because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. So the fact that it was literally the first opponent, and it was literally within 10 seconds of sending you that I had that opponent, his name had just, you could say Engel or Angel or Angel.
Yeah.
And then you told me the song that came on the radio. You said you've never heard it on the Mexican radio once. Never.
The Mexican radio is absolutely horrific. It's usually commercials, and then 90% of the time when there is music, it's like banda music, it's Spanish music, and I couldn't believe it. You heard the energy in my voice when I sent you it.
It was so much energy.
It was angelic. It was like a rush of energy went inside my body.
Yes, lad.
And I would never have noticed those things before my awakening. I wouldn't have been talking about angels for a start before my awakening. I never went into angels and demons and God, and I didn't care for it. I didn't dismiss it. I didn't care about angels, demons. I didn't think they were real. I 100% do now. But that was a glorious moment.
So all of this, my interpretation, so my perspective is that confirms that's going to be our first song together. Is going to be Angels.
Has to be.
Has to be. So that's what I mean, is that my life is so organically synced. Your life is so organically synced that it wouldn't even be out of the question for Tom Brady's life to be organically synced. But it doesn't matter because he's not our friend. He's not someone that we hang out with. He's not someone we'll ever meet. It doesn't matter what Tom Brady
does. But what about the fact that somebody like Brady has an incredible impact on people in society and is such an influential figure? So can the likes of you and I compare our impact on the world with somebody like Brady or somebody running a so-called country? Can we compare with these people?
Yeah, because the thing is that the reason that he is a big influence on people is because people pay attention to him. So it's not his fault that people give him so much energy. It's really not. He goes and he throws the football and he says press conference. Maybe he's forced to say things. Maybe he's not. But he doesn't force people to watch him. It's people's choice to watch him.
Wow. Yeah, it's people's choice to watch him, and it's people's choice to give their energy to him. Like LeBron. Right. They always say your energy won us the game today.
Mate, years ago, I was at a party, and I said that Brady was the GOAT by far. And this one guy said to me, he said, Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And I said, you're out of your mind. And I started getting upset. This is years ago.
And this is perspective again. You would never let that happen again now, would you?
No, because obviously in the scripted sport, Brady's much better than Brees. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah. If you're talking statistically, yes.
I'm messing around.
But you can argue it all day, don't they? People will say, yeah, but Brady's always had better defenders protecting him, and it's not always been Brady. It's been the field goal kickers and all of that. But you can go back and forth arguing these things, and it's not much fun.
You know what I say? You know what I would say to that, though? I would say it's fine to make that argument, but I got 7 rings, baby. You got one.
But yeah, I know this. But if I talk about like football, like in England, there was two brothers called the Neville brothers, Philip and Gary, and I thought they was awful footballers, but they played for the biggest club in England at the time and represented the country. They've
Who
won
is the
so
biggest
many.
club?
They've won so many trophies between them. I don't think that means that they're decent. But they wasn't like the number one star. I guess they say the NFL's a quarterback league. That's what they've told us.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, but again, like DiCaprio growing up was my favorite actor. Him and Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
DiCaprio's won one Oscar. Does it mean that the people who've won more than one Oscar are more talented than him?
I think the Oscars are different though because they're selected by a panel, but with the championship you have to win a game. It's on you to win the game. I mean, obviously it's scripted and whatnot, but speaking from just purely what you're asking me, the Oscar thing is.
That's a great that is a perfect response. Like the Oscar comes down to opinion. Winning and losing is fact, whether it's rigged or not.
So,
whether it's rigged or not, if you've won a game or you've lost a game, it is what it is.
Brady has 7 rings. It's that we all saw on TV and whatnot. Some people saw in person maybe, but anyways, the point is the power perspective is that it doesn't matter, and Brady is not necessarily better than Breeze, even if it's real. It's perspective, That was the point. But I was making jokes because I think it's funny when how I used to feel that way, and I was like, oh yeah, Brady's way better, and I said that before he had 2 more of his rings. So I was saying that when he had 5 rings. If
we're talking about perspective as well, they always say what separates Brady from everyone else is his mentality.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but they're not saying that is the most gifted athlete. He never has been the most gifted athlete. No, but they say it was his will to win and his never give up. And again, I don't know if it is organic, if it is magic, we don't know. And like you said, you and I don't give our energy to these people. I'm at a point, and I think within a year, whether it's the end of Illusion or the end of the Patreon, within a year, I won't be decoding sports. I have ascended so much since I don't watch them and not gambling. A whole new level of consciousness. My life has become so amazing. I appreciate the little things. I'm at a point now, however good I'm at coding, I don't want to even check a score. I don't want to see who wins the league. I'm getting to that point because I know it's going to take me to a whole new level of inspiring people. And if it means inspiring less people, then so be it. So be it. If it's people who genuinely care about growing, I want to do that because who cares about these sports, mate? Who really cares? How many people even profit from gambling on the miniway? Like one out of 50 over the month, maybe in the world. It's not worth it. Stupid score lines that don't make any sense because it clearly isn't about ability in these sports, in my opinion.
No, of course not.
It can't be.
Of course not.
It's nonsense what they do.
As a decoder, it's not about the ability, but as a viewer, as a typical viewer, it is.
They blame the officials or injuries or whatever it is. But the fact is, it's energy. It's energy harvesting. Professional sports are energy harvesting. Playing them is just amazing.
But what you're saying is true for you, but for other people, they might get so energized for a Philadelphia Eagles game or for a New York Yankees game that they actually gain joy from it, mate. And I'm not saying that's me because I'm with you, but the point of this live is that it's the power of perspective, mate. So
my mate today, Flinny, actually said something similar. So I told him that I'll never watch a World Cup game again. I don't want to be around the people. They wind me up. I find it very, and again, this is perspective. I'm looking at it differently.
It's your feelings,
yeah. I find it very pathetic seeing grown men cry when the team wins or loses and hugging each other. And on one hand, it's nice because it's positive. It's joyful. But on the other hand, it makes me cringe. So my whole thing is now, if they want to do that and it brings them joy, like I got so much joy from hanging out with my friends and my dad and stuff like that, watching pro sports. It's a lot of good memories. But for me now, I won't be around it. I won't be in the bar. I won't be going to parties. Like if there's a Super Bowl party, I won't go. Or if I do, I won't watch the game. Because it is, I am at a point now, being around that energy, I don't actually like it. Although it comes across as being positive, it doesn't make me feel positive. Because I think people are wasting the energy. I think they're wasting it, but that's perspective again. I think they're giving their energy to the wrong place. But again, who am I? I can't stop people watching these games, but I can stop myself from watching them.
Exactly, lad. And that's the thing, is that I was in a conversation with a coworker last year, and I was talking, you know how I am. I'm very I'm deep. I think deeply about life. I think deeply about life, and I'm introspective.
Yeah.
So I was speaking this way with her, and she was like, we were talking about life and stuff, and I was seeing her point of view, which was pretty interesting. And she said to me, not everyone wants to go deep with as far as conversation goes. And it hit me, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Like, she was telling me that basically some people just don't want to put energy into that, and that's fine. That's completely fine, mate. Maybe I won't speak to them, but someone else will.
Well, I had a similar. I've got a close friend, and he's like a massive, massive fan of Chelsea. He's obsessed with Chelsea and pro sports in general. He's in LA right now, so he'll go watch the Lakers, and it means so much to him. And for so long, I was trying to be like, well, what about this? And you see this, you see how big this is. Look at this. I told you that would happen. And he don't want it. So just stop, Adam. Stop with him. He don't want it. He's him enjoying it and getting satisfaction from it. Let him have it. Who am I again to be this martyr to say you're wrong, you're wasting your life away by doing that?
Well, because we're actually kind of being like the evil ones in the sense, if we're causing them harm just for our ego,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna stop with that now.
Well, it's one thing for me to open up the gates, and I'll just say to someone, open up the gates, take the lock off the fence and say, look, it's rigged by the numbers. Here's a couple examples. And then if they're like, Jay Saul, I don't want to hear it, then that's fine. That's all right. I'm done. I'm not going to push anymore.
All right, that's fair.
I will at least give them a key to open up the gate or the fence or whatever structure you have in mind, to open up that door, and it's up to them. It's
because we're so certain in our head, which could be ego. We're so certain in the head that what we're doing is to help them. That is 100% that we're right. This will help you. If you stop watching it, it's gonna help you. And that is, maybe there is still that ego where we think we know it all, when really nobody knows it all. Nobody ever will know it all.
If we truly knew exactly how it all worked, we would have profited more than we did. Not saying we didn't do well, but I'm saying if we knew exactly how it worked, we would be extremely profitable. But the fact is that we don't know exactly because it's so complicated. Some days it's easy, some days it's extremely deep, and it's tough to discern the winner. And other days, the literal Boston 22 gematria is going to hit up, and then some days it's going to be a deep ritual about Christopher Columbus on the day that he marked his territory in America or whatever in the history books, right?
No, that's amazing. You think you've nailed it. You got this a phenomenal code, and your friends and community love it, and then you realize that the whole code was about somebody who died 550 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and today there was people talking about this big shooting that happened. I don't decode those things. I think it's a waste of my time and energy.
No,
maybe
I don't want to look into that.
But I think they do influence outcomes, and it may have affected this Dallas Warriors game. I think they do affect outcomes. These major rituals, or maybe they don't. Again, we don't know that.
It's perspective.
The Twitter group that I'm in, to be fair to the Twitter group that I'm in, 90% of them said because of this shooting, Dallas were winning, and they put together great codes. And I was like, nah, Warriors have got this. And I've been so good with the NBA. And they were like, no, there's numbers, and there's numbers all connect with the shooting for Dallas to win, and with Maverick from Top Gun and all of that. So
Now,
again, but the reality
mate,
is we don't even know if it was that.
Well, let me ask you, mate, what made you hesitant to listen to them?
No, I did listen to them.
No, but when you said now the Warriors got this, what made you say that?
Well, I originally had Dallas, as my community knows. I said it in a live. I think it's going to go 3-1, and then Warriors will close it 4-1. But then my gut,
Yeah,
my gut was like, I thought the majority of the public would think there's no way Dallas are going to get swept, and there's no way Luka's going to get swept, and Warriors might take the foot off the gas because they're pretty much already there, because no team's ever come back from 3-0 in the Western Conference Finals. But originally I had Dallas. It was all Dallas, and then you find bullshit stuff. Well, maybe not bullshit. All the stuff I present is like, oh, wow, that's interesting. But I felt tonight the majority of my community went against me, so I'm hoping they did. A lot of comments were like, I'm going Dallas.
But what I guess what I'm asking you is the power of your perspective. What was it that was different from your perspective that like told you, okay, it's not going to be Dallas, even though I just looked at 20
I didn't think the shooting had anything to do with the outcome, and they did.
Okay, and Nate, it's just perspective, because to you it did not, and to them it did. Okay, maybe Dallas wins, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee it. It helps, but it doesn't guarantee that was the reason.
That's what I'm saying. We all do this. Like, I think what I've done, like, and again, I could just be searching. I don't think so. I coded Boston to beat the Heat yesterday, and I feel like I coded the script. Every number I said happened, with the timeouts, with the score, the final score.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So when I do that,
yeah.
But again, is it just me thinking that it's my code, or am I like, no, it was 26-6 at one point when Kobe was drafted. My whole code was about him. This, that, and the other. All the numbers that I find, or am I just saying okay? Because I'm so good at what I do, especially when I get it right. It's like when I get it right, it's like shit. Everything he said appeared.
Mate, I'll give you an example for that, because I didn't. You know how like deep into the rabbit holes that I go with decoding. I do not let up off the gas pedal. I go all the way.
Yeah.
But I have not been betting either at all this NBA playoffs or NHL playoffs, and I saw that Boston could make it 2-2, and I usually am never like this. I'm never like this, where Boston equals 22 and they go 2-2, and Brady won 22 by 22 points, and he played for New England, which is Boston.
And there's 222 days left in the year. Miami Heat 79, the 22nd prime. Like, there's so many 22s.
There are. And Brady plays for Tampa now, the Florida team, and Miami's a Florida team. So it's like a big Brady thing with Miami and Boston.
It was, yeah.
But and then Brady's isn't he also involved with the Miami Marlins? Is that true?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so he's very sync, and then Shula and then Brady and Shula have some syncs as well. I'll give you an example right now, just so I'm not, speaking just an opinion. But Brady's 7-3 in Super Bowls, right?
Yep.
And Shula went perfect in 73, and
with the Dolphins
equals 70, and perfect equals 73 in English Ordinal, and it was with the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, listen to this. I don't even know if you knew this, but the Dolphins owner and the Sun Life Stadium owner, Stephen Ross, went to University of Michigan, just like Brady.
Yeah, well, he won number 10. He won number 10 for Michigan, didn't he, Brady?
Right. So that's the big thing, is that Brady's 7-3 in Super Bowls, and he. Again, Shula won perfect in 73. Shula played 73 games as a player and had 21 interceptions. 73 is the 21st prime. Perfect perfect equals 73 in English ordinal. It's all.
And Brady went 7-3 in the 21st year of the 21st century, then retired on 2-1.
Right, in 21st year, right? Exactly. And perfect is 73.
And Steph Curry is connected to Brady. They got the San Francisco connection. He was born the 73rd day of the year when he matched the 14th, which is connected to Pi. And then Brady retired 22 seasons, 7 rings, 227.
Exactly.
Is connected to Pi because 22 divided by 7 is 3.14.
Exactly.
So the numbers are magical. 227 is the 49th prime, and Brady supports the 49ers.
Yeah, and Jimmy Garoppolo was Brady's backup for a few years, and then he went to the 49ers.
Yeah, and then Prince Philip died on 4-9, didn't he?
Yeah,
on the 99th day of the year at age 99, and then the NFL season began on 9/9, 99 days before the Pope's birthday. So again, maybe it's the universe. Like, was it meant to be? Here's again, I know you might not answer this, but was the Rams playing the Bengals always going to happen and it couldn't be stopped? Not Vegas, not this, that, and the other. It had to be.
Also just to add on,
not the ritual of all the Rams won and the Ukraine flag and the pushing World War III and all these colors. Did it have to be? Did the Rams have to win? There was no stopping it, or could they at any point be like, you know what? Actually, we're gonna go with Rams now. We'll stick with the Rams script. What do you think about that?
Okay, just to go back to wrap up that last point, Miami is also 99 in English extended.
Mate, you just said that, and Dallas are now leading right now, 99-70. How are the Warriors 3-0 up, getting beat by 29? 10th prime.
Mate,
it's a joke of a league. I don't. Okay, sorry. Keep going. 99 points.
Okay, wait. So 99. Yeah, Miami equals 99 in English extended, which is one of the top 3 most important ciphers that I recommend every single decoder use. Is English extended.
Okay, I don't use that, so I'll start using it. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with too many ciphers, personally.
No, mate. Just the base 4. English extended, Jewish, and Satanic.
I use Jewish often, generally with my Revelation stuff. But so you're saying to use which one are you saying? English extended,
Jewish, and Satanic are extreme. All 3 are extremely important.
Just Jewish or Jewish ordinal as well? Just Jewish.
I like just Jewish, and then Satanic, and then I also personally like Chaldean and Fibonacci too. Those, and that's pretty much it. But the English extended, the Jewish, and the Satanic hit. Those ones hit in the sports a lot that I've noticed.
All right, I'll start you. I'm always open to different ways of coding for sure. Like my coding growth has gone so far. It was always about date numerology. Then I started using gematria. Then I started using coaches' records, players' records. Then I'd try a few different ciphers, different ones. And then I start using biblical verses, this, that, and the other. So I think don't you think coding, like we both said it, coding should be fun, but coding's not fun for a lot. But coding's not fun for a lot of people because the only reason why they code is to win money, which then adds stress because they're risking money.
Right.
Whereas coding's sacred. Like
it takes out the creativity. Like when you make music for money versus when you make it for fun.
So wow. I was having this chat with somebody about the professional game. I wrote a poem, didn't I, about football because it's actually pretty emotional because I've given my life to football and it got me to the US. I found my wife with football. I was football. Like growing up at middle school, high school, all of that. I was the footballer. And I know it's not good to just be painted with one brush and all of that. But football is just so sacred to me. And I think when I played at a decent level and got paid to play, or there was like win bonuses, it wasn't the same game of football than it was playing Sunday league or playing with my mates or playing for my school or university, where it was all about the camaraderie. You always want to win, but you're not too bothered if you lose. You're not thinking, shit, I might not get my contract extended because I've had a couple of bad games. Or they might kick me off the team and then I start on the bench and then you don't get bonuses and all of that.
Exactly.
So
It sucks the fun out of it.
So how do we tell people? I always tell people, dismiss this at your peril. This knowledge is sacred. How do you think I'm going to do? Be honest with me here. How do you think I'm going to do if I just stop with sports? Do you think I would lose 50% of my patrons, 10, 90? Like, if I just said, guys, I want to decode our reality. I want to inspire this, that, and the other. But I'm done with sports. What percent do you think I would lose? 50?
I guess probably 50. I mean, but mate,
that sucks, doesn't it? That shows you that people are really in it just for that.
Well, the thing is, lad, is that if you teach people to decode their lives, in my perspective, you're doing them more of a favor than if you teach them how you decode the sports.
I've done that twice. I've decoded people's life twice, and they said, this is the most incredible thing I've ever experienced. I decoded their lives. I just said, what I did, I designed certain questions. I've got the document. I'll maybe send you it. I designed X and Y questions, like, what's your full name? What's your date of birth? What's your star sign? What's this? What's your favorite color? I did all of that. And then I was sinking it. They're like, how do you know all of this? I was like, it's all there. We've never been taught to look for it.
You should charge for that.
I could. I've been offered.
On your Patreon.
No, people have offered me $50, $60 an hour to sit down with them and decode their life or just speak with them.
Because it's worth it. It's worth it, mate. It's worth it.
Yeah, I would much when I go live, I love interacting. We're not really doing it right now. This is not like me, but I'm not really interacting with the chat. There's not many people in this live. Maybe they'll watch it all tomorrow. But just going live and just talking and inspiring, and I'm losing my passion a little bit to talk about NBA games now, or MLB, or the Premier League, or the Champions League, or I don't know. There's just bigger things with this knowledge, to truly ascend. I think you've got to sacrifice certain things, with the decoding. But I'll keep going with the sports. I'm going to go at least till the end of the year, for the World Cup and all of that. I'll keep doing it till the end of 2022. But I'm hoping by 2023 I'll be at a whole different level with knowledge, than just sports.
Oh, we will be, mate. And but to answer your question way earlier about the Rams and Bengals.
Yeah.
Is that did it have to happen? So that
it had to happen. It couldn't be stopped. It had to be Rams against Bengals, and the Rams had to win by 3 points.
Yeah, probably. I would think so, right? Because that's how I look at my life. I had to I don't know with some examples, but I had to experience the scamdemic for me to wake up to the world stuff. That's the truth.
Same with me.
That is what had to happen.
That's what had to happen?
What had to happen.
Okay. And you think without that, you wouldn't have woken up eventually?
Absolutely. I think I would probably not have woken up, because I had a friend who was telling me a lot of the world stuff, and I didn't disagree. I'm a unique case, mate, because I never told him he was wrong, and I never had cognitive dissonance from what he told me. I did not, actually.
Yeah, but you wasn't completely taken in by it, but you wasn't completely dismissive of it. You're like, all right.
I wasn't dismissing it, but I didn't have any proof, so I really didn't say anything. I just listened to him. And once this whole thing started, and then I watched those 2 documentaries that were really large in May of 2020, which, again, may have been psyops, but they still helped me wake up, so I don't care.
That's fair. That's very fair, yeah. And you've got to be careful as well of people in the truth community who say that everything is a psyop, is what they want. So then you're basically saying everything's a lie, and then you literally have no truth. Because everything's a psyop.
I need to pop off on that for a second. Is that okay, maybe every food is not great for you. Okay, that's fine. But we still need to, we don't need to, okay, I'm just going to say this. We will likely we got to enjoy it. And then as far as everything being a psyop, y'all are giving people in this, in the controller seats way too much power. Way too much power.
Yes.
You're giving them so much power. Oh, well, they want you to think this and that. I'm like, dude, the dude has 20,000 followers or less.
And it's mate, you know, since I told you Dallas won 99 points, they haven't scored a point.
Oh my gosh.
There's certain times, isn't there, in games where there's a number there and they don't let them come off it.
That's because they know the illusion's live, and we've been talking about 99.
Just 99s, I swear down, like for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they haven't scored a point, and the fans in the stadium or whatever just are oblivious to it. But anyway, keep going. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that how these teams stay on a certain point for like 6 or 7 minutes with the best league in the world. But yeah,
right, exactly. But I'll tell you this: is that everything being a psyop, it's not a fun way to live.
No, it's not. It's a miserable way of living.
Miserable, and it's also I in my perspective not true, but even then, mate, this is the thing. If those two documentaries 2 years ago from right now, 2 years ago, were psyops, but they helped me wake up to the world stuff, and then I realized that you know this and that. Then what does it matter if it's psyop or not? Who cares?
Find your own truth, whether it's a psyop or not, baby.
Yeah, find your own truth, whether it's a psyop or not, baby. Make that a quote.
Yeah, and there's a lot of half truths as well, and this did happen, but was it exactly the way they've told us it happened? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's where it is. A lot of the answers in the gray, man.
You may never get I don't even know if there is an objective truth at all, but I'll tell you, we do know some things. We do. We know that semen retention is extremely healthy for men. We do know that like fruits and vegetables are high vibrational foods because they're alive. They're not dead. They're alive.
Exactly. That's again undeniable. That they're alive. They're not made in a lab.
They're alive. We know that working out is healthy because it helps us all feel better. Maybe some people won't feel good when they first start, but then eventually they will feel good. Because that's what apparently happens in our brains. And that may be true. That may actually
Well, this is true with your brain as well. Like when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Like that's true.
Yes. Yeah, okay. That's the whole point of this live. Can you repeat that?
I can't remember what I said.
You said the way you look at things, or wait, what did you just said?
No, it's like something about if you change the way you look at something, then the things you look at change or something.
Yes, that's it. One more time, mate.
Fuck. When you change how you look at things, the things you look at change.
Amen to
so, that. Like, yeah, exactly. You're viewing certain things. If your perspective changes, then the thing that was always the same way that it appeared now looks different. That's just perspective, isn't it? In general, that's just perspective in general.
Yes.
The things that you're like something you had no appreciation for. For example, I had zero appreciation for numbers, and now I adore numbers. The numbers haven't changed. The numbers are still the same numbers, but the way I see the numbers has changed. But the numbers haven't.
Absolutely.
The numbers haven't changed at all. They're the same numbers they were when I had no interest in them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what about for you, mate? Like, what somebody's saying, write that down. I can't remember it. So, okay, let's ask you a few questions here, Jason. So,
yeah, sure.
You've clearly had an awakening, like myself, like probably a lot of people in the chat. We all have awakenings at different times, at different levels. It is what it is. But what have been the best things of your awakening? And do you ever have moments where, you know what, I kind of wish I didn't have it? And be honest. Or have you ever had a moment where you're like, I actually wish I never came across this knowledge, and I was the JSOL I don't know, before the scamdemic.
Yeah. So, wow, these are great questions.
Yeah,
Thank
very,
you.
very hard, man. So just say what feels right, mate.
Yeah, so I will say that overall, it's been an extremely positive experience. Overall, I say, because I will speak about the other side.
And I'll do my part as well, because people need to know that this knowledge is just not all amazing. Like, there's a lot of pain with this knowledge, a lot.
But mate, I think that a lot of decoders actually focus on the pain and they don't focus on the joy of it. So we got to really highlight.
No, I know, but we just got to make people aware of that. And you obviously, it's adversity, you overcome it. It's beautiful, but we can't just sit here and say, gather this knowledge and it's the greatest thing ever. That's not how it works. You've got to earn your stripes, as they say, with this knowledge, I think. If you change who you are, which we have, we are technically the same person, but our perspectives have changed. So we've changed, but we're still that same person in a weird way. Exactly. I'm still Adam Edwards, but the way I see the world's different now. But I'm still Adam Edwards. So go on. What were you saying then? So tell us some of the best aspects of this awakening, and maybe a few experiences where you were like, I'm not sure that I really wish I had this experience.
Yeah, so I'll say some of the best things.
I knew you'd start with a positive. You're such a positive person, mate. It's unbelievable. You go straight for the positive. They always say, have you heard the expression, do you want the good news or the bad news first? Most people go, the bad news. Have you noticed that? They always want the bad news first. They always want it out of the way. Like for me, it's like, oh, give me the good news, baby, and I'll deal with the bad news. All right, sorry. I'll keep my mouth shut. Go for it, brother.
No need to apologize, lad. I agree with you. The good news, baby. So here we go. So I would say the biggest and best things. Well, okay. So I was talking about the friend that told me a lot of these things. He told me about the medical system, and he told me about the Pope, and he told me about the about the celebrities and what the rituals and whatnot, and seeing those things actually come to fruition, because I had already been listening to this individual about semen retention, about being vegetarian, about doing a lot of different things that were healthy for me, that were good for me, and then seeing these other parts come together that were congruent with how I was already living, right? Like I was already living a healthy life. It was a relief, mate, because the thing is that the whole sports thing and seeing all these idols and seeing them do this and that, and it kind of puts you as an athlete, because I'm also an athlete.
Yeah, you play hockey, don't you?
I play hockey, right. So the thing is that it puts you in this position like, wow, I could not have, I didn't do what they did, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't go professional. And actually, okay, scratch everything I just said, because it doesn't feel right. Scratch everything I just said.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Scratch it off, baby.
Listen to this. The best feeling that I have, for the most part, one of the best feelings I have in the last 2 years is whenever I find someone who's like-minded with this knowledge.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to find.
I get excited.
Yeah.
It's like an out-of-body experience. How exciting it is to see someone with the similar, unique perspective.
Oh, it's a joyful experience, mate. It truly is. And when you find those people, you have to keep them in your life.
Yeah, I always ensure that I keep in touch with them and check in on them, because we are warriors, mate. The fact that we were blessed with this knowledge, we are warriors, and to someone else, we're just a conspiracy theorist, and in their reality, it's actually true, and in my reality, that's not true, right? So, perspectives, but it's really fun to spend time with people who have similar perspectives, because it helps you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that perspective, similar humor as well. You don't have to be friends with just people who see the world exactly the same as you and have the exact same interests, because it's nice to talk about different things. But you want to be around people that you grow with, and you bring joy to them, and you can be honest with them, and you can be open with them, and you can call them out if you think they need calling out.
You might even grow more with someone who has a very different perspective from you, and that's great. You don't have to isolate from the world. I think that we're meant to be here because we're meant to show an example of someone who's standing in their, someone who is going to love the world, you know, regardless of the stuff that we've learned about it.
Well, there's the famous saying, opposites attract, and to an extent that might be true.
That's interesting. That's interesting, actually, because I mean, in the law of attraction, like attracts like, very, very, I would say very obviously, but the opposites attract thing is also interesting because the polarity.
Yeah.
You're on complete opposite sides of the spectrum of whatever spectrum it is we're speaking of, right? And I haven't really seen that, to be honest.
Well, do you think the people who have long-term marriages and they get married and they're with each other till the day they die, do you think the majority of those long-term relationships are people who are super connected and have extremely similar interests, or those who are very different, yet they balance each other out?
I think it depends on the people, mate, because for some people, let's say a Libra, someone who's a Libra sign, and they're really embody the Libra energy. Some of them might prefer an easier, more calm life and be with another Libra, or be with maybe another sign that's a little more calm and relaxed.
So do you have do you have full faith in zodiac signs and all of that with astrology?
What do you say, mate?
So the whole thing of like, I'm an Aries and she's a Scorpio and we connect because of this, like when they tell you this, like with these star signs and things like that, you can go on multiple sources and they'll tell you different things. Like this star sign connects with this one, and then the next web page says, no, it's actually this one connects with this one. So how do you feel about the whole thing with zodiacs?
It's perspective, mate.
So like when you've met people, like you've got close with them, have you like said, hey, what's your zodiac? And then realized, shit, the majority of people in my life I'm connected with are, for example, Leos. Is that how you've come to that conclusion? I never ask people the star sign. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I can usually tell, mate, to be honest, which is pretty wild, but I can usually tell what sign people are.
Wow. And how? The personality? The job?
Yeah, it's energy. I was at the gym one time and I asked this girl at the front desk, I said, are you a Virgo? And she was
like, I thought you were going to say, are you a
virgin?
I was like, where's he going with this?
Mate, that word actually is derived from Virgo.
Can you explain why?
Yeah, they say Jesus was born of a virgin. Well, he was born of a Virgo because his birthday was actually in September. It wasn't in December.
That's true. September the 11th, wasn't it?
That's what I hear. I hear that 9/11 was actually his birthday, and that's why that happened.
It makes so much sense. It makes way more sense than December the 25th. Put it that way. We can both agree with that.
Well, I'll put it that way. Type here. Hold on. Here for your listeners, I'm going to show you a mathematical undeniable sync about what I just said.
Oh, go on, mate. I'm excited, mate. I feel like my left hand's going to fall off. I've been holding this phone now for 23 minutes with my weaker hand, baby. But we'll keep going.
Yeah, but listen to this. This is really outrageous. Here.
I'm excited, mate. If you say something is outrageous, then guys, you want to fucking listen to this. If he's saying it's outrageous, oh my goodness, have a listen. I don't know what he's about to say.
All right.
Sorry, I just built that. I built that up a lot, bro. Pressure on you. All right, let's go.
All right, let me get this. Okay, all right, I got it. So if y'all all want to open up your Gematrinator
Okay, if you have a Gematrinator, guys, if you have a Gematrinator in front of you, open it up, please.
Open it up.
Okay, I'm gonna partake in this. I've got mine open with the ciphers you said.
All right. So just the base ciphers.
All right, we'll go base ciphers. Okay.
Type in World Trade Center.
World Trade Center. All right. Yeah.
And what numbers? 185, 77, right?
Yeah, the 77 stands out, of course, with the.
Okay, but check this out. So press enter.
Yeah.
And then scratch that and type this, mate. You're gonna have chills.
Go on.
Type in the Lord and Savior.
The Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, baby. The Lord and Savior.
The Lord.
Okay, what's the main number that stands out to you?
Mate, did you type it right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah. How do you spell Savior? S-A-V-I-O-U-R?
No, S-A-V-I-O-R.
Okay. Wow. The Lord and Savior, yeah, because that's the US spelling, yeah. I was doing the English one. So
Mate,
the Lord and Savior has an exact match as World Trade Center?
in all 4 ciphers.
And have you noticed reverse ordinal? It's 24/7, like there's 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week.
Absolutely, lad. But check that out. And
Wow.
check that out, the fact that World Trade Center and the Lord and Savior have the exact same match. I found that myself.
So
Have
what
the
you're trying to
exact same
say, then, wow, I'm getting it now. What you're trying to say is when they took down the World Trade Center, they took down Jesus.
Not necessarily, but what I'm saying is that it was a crucifixion ritual in the sense that how do I explain it? I guess that 9/11 being his potential birthday, born of a Virgo, which is September 11th is in Virgo.
Do you think that's why? Do you think that's why 99 is so big? Because 9 times 11 is 99.
I think 99 is so big because the Matrix was released in '99, and the Matrix movie. Listen to this, mate. This is even more to add on.
I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to let you say it. I know where you're going with it.
Okay, so the Matrix was released in 1999, the 303rd prime. Neo's room number was 303, and hold on, let me get on my Gematrinator again. So
Oh, baby.
Let me get on my Gematrinator again so I don't misspeak. Okay. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is 303 English ordinal. Okay, and Matrix was released in 1999, 303rd prime, and Neo's room number was 303. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is 303. Crucifixion of Jesus Christ is 303 English ordinal as well.
The thing is, mate, most people, like you and I, are at a high level with our prime numbers, but most people don't know that 1,999 is the 303rd prime, do they?
That's fine, mate, but check this out.
It makes sense, though, because Manchester United, the team I grew up supporting, the Red Devils, in 1999, they won 3 trophies. Connects with the 303 and the 1999.
It does, mate. And Neo was an example of someone who was Christed, someone who was awakened, someone who is living in 4D in a 3D world. So the point is that all these numbers, crucifixion of Jesus Christ 303, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ 303, 303 room number, released in 303 prime year, and on his, I believe it was on his passport.
It was. I've got the image on his passport. It's 9/11/2001.
That's the date of expiration is 9/11/2001, and that is Jesus's supposed birthday in esoteric studies.
And obviously the Matrix came out 2 years before. In 99.
Born of a Virgo. And not only that, mate, but there was also a tower that went, like a plane that went into a tower also, wasn't there, in that movie?
Yeah, there was. And also, again, we'll never know this, but it makes sense to me. I've read multiple I don't know if I want to say articles, but that Jesus had a twin called Thomas. So the Twin Towers coming down. And then you had George Floyd getting murdered in Minnesota, the Twin City.
Well, what about this, mate? Morpheus is 43 full reduction and Jesus is 43. Is it Jesus or Jesus Christ?
It's both.
No, Jesus
it's
Christ
both.
is 43.
No, it's both. Jesus is 43, Jesus Christ is 43, so is Lucifer. And maybe that explains Brady won't win a Super Bowl again. His last one was when he was 43 years old.
Mate, Jesus Christ equals 43 full reduction. Morpheus equals 43 full reduction. And he supposedly died on 4/3.
So for you, April the 3rd. And if Elizabeth dies 6/3, she's going to die 43 days after her birthday. So...
Well, regardless, she doesn't even exist in my reality.
I get what you're saying. And I 100% get what you're saying. So for you, Morpheus, right? In the movie, which we can't deny, The Matrix, the first one, is just... It could be a documentary. Again, it's perspective how you see that movie. For a lot of people, they found it extremely boring. Other people, it was mind-blowing. So what I would say with The Matrix, and in particular Morpheus, we know Neo is an anagram of one, like the universe, uni means one. But for Morpheus, for you, his character within that movie, please tell me what you think about Morpheus. What was his whole role in that movie? Did he want Neo to wake up? Did he force it upon him? Was he guiding him?
This is what I was going to say at the way earlier, was that Tom Brady does not force people to watch him, just like Morpheus did not force Neo to take the red pill.
Yeah, he didn't throw it down his throat, did he? He didn't pin him down and make him...
He opened his hands and gave him a choice and explained what they would...
Mate, you're giving me goosebumps. Mate, stop. You're giving me goosebumps right now with this. You're giving me a lot of goosebumps here where, you do have a choice, and a lot of people feel powerless that they don't have a choice with getting the you-know-what and X, Y, and Z, but they always had a choice. You have a choice to gamble or not. You have a choice to get fit. You have a choice to change your diet. You have a choice to ask that girl on a date. You have so many choices where you feel like you don't. But you always have a choice, don't you? Just like Neo did.
Exactly. And that's when I say, I want to clarify something for everyone listening. I didn't say the Twin Towers thing and the Matrix thing to just bring up some conspiracy. The reason I brought that stuff up was because Neo was an example of a Christed being. And I'm not talking about religion, and I'm not talking
So what do you mean by a Christed being, for those who don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah, so I'm not talking about reading the Bible, and I'm not talking about listening to a pastor in church. What I'm talking about is leveling up your consciousness through love and leveling up through seeing and leveling up through all the different avenues. You could get stronger. You could become a better meditator. You could meditate stronger. You could see that the programming we were given as children is not necessarily the truth. There's so many ways you could move towards being more Christed like Neo. But my point of this whole thing is that Neo was awakened. He realized the Matrix, and I guess that's what I'm saying. Being Christed is awakening.
Do you think consciousness is Christ within you? Do you think we all have Christ within us? Because didn't Jesus say? Jesus said, "I have Christ within me." Is he referring to consciousness?
Mate, I don't believe that Jesus is outside of us. I think we are collectively the source energy, and we are collectively the savior, and we are the ones who are going to make a difference. And the way to do that is to focus on leveling yourself up, not others.
When you say source, do you think that's the creator? When you say I only answer to source,
yeah,
is that
the divine script writer, so to speak?
So again, so we say scripts, and it's the scriptures, isn't it, in the Bible?
Mate, well, that's what they call them because that's probably what it's a script, mate. So there's many layers to the text. And
So yeah, keep going.
The layer, the literal layer, is not what I personally believe in. I don't believe that someone died for my sins and that I'm supposed to repent and do confession and believe that I'm inherently evil and blah blah blah.
And that there's a white man in the sky. There's a white man in the sky with a beard, and there's a red devil underground.
Right. I don't believe. I don't.
You've always felt immensely strong about that, haven't you?
Yeah, that never resonated with me. That never resonated with me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't believe the devil and Jesus in the sense of that you'll ever I don't think you'll ever visually see them. I think maybe both are within you or whatever the metaphors of them. I know people get all angry about all of that, but again.
Well, mate, think about this. If this is my logic behind what we're both saying right now that we're agreeing on. My logic is that if everything is a lie as far as, the history and the education system and the music and the this and the that, but then your sacred religion is not a lie. That's where I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense. How is everything a lie except for the one thing that they've been pushing you to believe since you were born?
Mate, there's somebody in the chat called John. Much love to you, John. He said, we are the script writers. We write our own movie. What do you think of that?
I love that.
I think that's beautiful. That really connected with me there, that you can create your own character within this movie. Just not acting like, no, this is completely your script. No, I think I always say this, like there's the destination, yeah? There's always a destination, but there's always there's always
destiny and destination are from the same. Destiny and destination are if you look at the word, it's the same.
That's very true. But for me, there's the destination, but there's multiple different ways of getting to the destination. I think we decide that.
Yeah.
There might be an ultimate destiny for you, but we decide how we get there. Not.
I like that, mate.
That's how I see it. I think you do have freedom of choice and all of that with almost everything within this world, and there might be that ultimate. This is where he's going to end up, but it's up to him how he gets there.
Yeah, I like it.
I think I like that. So the guy who said that, where is he? John. My brother's called John. Cheers, mate. I enjoyed that one. Let me just quick. Destiny is 33 in Gematria, mate.
Wow.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that. I know Diamond's 33, which is hilarious. But I'm going to quickly go through some of the comments. This is the stuff that I enjoy talking about, mate. Not just, do you think the Warriors are going to win next game? Like, yeah, probably. But who
cares?
Yeah, well, I'm at that point where I don't care. But the only reason I have to do it is honestly the financial part. Like, I have to decide now for me, am I willing to lose a decent amount of my income by listening to my soul? Because my soul's saying stop. Even though I'm good, even though the whole year I've been so solid every month, massively positive. This stuff, mate, this is inspirational. This brings me joy. This is not like work.
Absolutely, mate.
So, mate, I want to say something to you, which I don't think you've connected. And maybe you have, because I know how bright you are, but you know 113 is the number of deception in Gematria. You can't deny that with the words.
No, I agree. There's like literally like 6 to 8 to 10 words.
Or maybe more, maybe more. But in Gematria, 113 is blatantly the number of deception. Now check this out.
Yep.
You and I, oh my God, mate, we were talking about 9-11 or 11-9 and Dallas won the game 119-109.
Oh my gosh, mate.
And I always talk about the number 10 and they won by 10 points, mate. Wow, it was 119 and we were talking about Jesus being born the 11th of September. But
wow.
What I was saying, 113 is the number of deception. And you and I know our primes. 617 is the 113th prime, yeah? 617 is the 113th prime. Oh wait, it's reconnecting. Can you hear me, bro?
What did you say, Led?
I was saying 617 is the 113th prime, yeah? Yeah? Oh, God, I'm having issues, guys. I think we're pulling out so much beautiful truth here. 617 is the 113th. Okay, wait a second. I'm going to call him back. See if this works. Give us a moment, guys. This is what I mean. It doesn't make sense, the internet. We've been going for an hour and 39 minutes. No issues. And now I can't connect with him. Now I can't connect. But Jay Saul and I will always be connected, even though we've never, ever met. Can you hear me? No, it's not having it. All right, I'll go through some of the comments. So somebody saying that art world is old, then we realize. I agree. Some with art, that's magical. I was telling someone for 2 days something was going to happen because the 144th day of the year. Well, the Elizabeth line opens in London. Yeah, I saw what happened in Texas. I don't really look into it. It's been like this forever. It's why God incarnated into Jesus to do a blood sacrifice for our sins. Wow. Thanks, Adam. Well put. Egypt was the start of magic. Makes a lot of sense with Egypt, with the symbolism of Egypt and the sun worship. Yeah, Egypt is a country we need to keep our eye on. Scottish Assurance also 1776. Brilliant. That's phenomenal. JSL. What a piece of shit. Again, perspective. I'll get out of this apartment. So I'll try calling. Basically, the apartment I'm living in, I've always been very fortunate with where I've lived. And this is fine. Like, where I live is absolutely fine. Most people would be happy with it. I've just been used to a certain way of life. And I've been pretty unhappy with this apartment for a while now. And the landlord basically threatened to kick me out because he said I complain too much. Like, he said, if you're so unhappy, then you should go. And then he was like, if you stay, I'm going to increase the rent by 12%. So I've got to make a decision now. This Thursday, I'm looking for new places. But maybe it's the universe saying, Adam, you don't want to be here. And now it's going to force it upon me. I don't want you here. So it's like, okay, now I have to go. And I think that's beautiful. Or it could all go down to be careful what you wish for. Because where I'm living right now, there's literally nothing available, as far as I'm aware. Hello? Oh, wow, he's back. He's back. Somebody said that your laugh is infectious. I agree. So, listen, I was saying this like a million times. Look, mate, because Dallas won, I've just lost a Patreon. This is what Patreon. Like, it's so infuriating. But again, that perspective. One goes, another two might join. But it's every time. All right. Somebody's saying this and probably like their own comment. I'm going to speak to this guy right now, okay? I don't know if he's in the live. Gematria and Zach literally ruined my life. Wish I would have bet more. I just can never make the correct decision. I don't know how to bet soccer, so I just need to quit. What would you say to this guy? Like, what should I say to him now? Mate, just quit? Just leave? Stop coding? What advice can I get? This guy seems a really nice guy, but he's always down on himself. He's the type of guy who bets when it loses, and when he doesn't bet, it always wins, like a lot of people. What can I say to him? I'm not going to be negative to him, but do you think it's this victim? He's blaming Gematria and Zach on his life being ruled. He's not taking any responsibility for his own life. He's blaming Zach and Gematria for why his life sucks. I think that's really weak, to be honest. Now, so how can we help him?
You took the words out of my mouth. I'll say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. I sympathize and I empathize, I should say. I'm sorry. I am sorry, mate, that you have lost, quite a lot, and that you've had a negative experience.
But what's wild, bro, is I'm doing the best decoding of my entire life, and in regards to reveal and deception, I think I know it's the best I've ever been with everything that I'm doing in regards to my work. As like, if you call gematria an art, I'm at the highest level right now that I've ever been. But to see people go like, because the Queen's still alive and Liverpool didn't win all 4 trophies, I don't need those people in the community, but it's still, even now after doing this almost 2 years, as soon as a game's over, you just see somebody go. And I don't look at the $10 or the $8, whatever it is after tax. I'm like, are you really just going to go? Like, all this stuff I've been giving you, amazing knowledge, you just go in because you lost $20 or something on a stupid sports game? Like, what are you doing? I want to say piss off, but on the other hand, I don't want to spread that negative energy.
Mate, I want to say this. So to that person, I'll just finish what I was just saying, is that I am sorry you've lost a lot, mate, but Zach and Gematria are not responsible for your life. There is, in my opinion, there's a divine creator that's scripting everything for our highest good. Now, if you keep losing and the signs are telling you to stop, but you keep losing, that is on you to not recognize the signs. The signs told Adam, mate, did you already speak? Did you want to speak about the apartment thing? Is that okay to bring up?
No, I briefly discussed it. It's so weird you're saying that, because when you went and I couldn't connect with you, I was saying, but Jason and I will always be connected. But when you went, I briefly went over it, how I've been wanting out of this place. So I'll go through it and then you can have your insight on it. So basically, guys, it's pretty personal, this, but I feel like I've told you practically everything about me. So I feel like Eminem in the last rap battle in 8 Mile, where he just tells them, tell me something you don't know about, they don't know about me, whatever. So I left my incredible, beautiful, stunning, intelligent wife because my soul and spirit said I had to go on this journey alone. And I listened to it. It was so powerful. It was so strong. Like, I had a really comfortable, happy life, but I needed more. And there was some angels that said, you got to go, Adam. You got to walk this path alone. And I was like, I finally did it. And I spoke to a real estate agent who's a friend of mine who now lives in the Dominican Republic. I said, listen, just please get me anything. And it doesn't need to be fancy, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I might be back with my wife in a month, because at the time she was my wife. It might be a week. It might be a year. I might be here 10 years. I don't know, but can you get me something? And she went, are you sure? Like, anything? I was like, yeah, as long as it's not terrible. I want Wi-Fi, which my Wi-Fi is shit. I want Wi-Fi. I want Wi-Fi. I want shelter, and I want enough space to be able to walk around. And that's about it. I want running water and electricity. That's it. I'm fine. And I got all those things. At the beginning, it was great. And it's when I was going through my awakening and just didn't sleep for about a year, just gathering all this knowledge, trying to figure out who the hell I am, why I'm here, and what my purpose is. And for a few months now, I've been saying, I'm done with this apartment. I need to get out. Like, there's no positive energy within this place. I don't want to bring people here. Like, there's no sunlight that comes in. The internet's really shit. I don't get along with the neighbors. Not that I dislike them. I just don't have a connection with them. And I was like, I want to get out of here. And I'm still here. And then my landlord said, if you're unhappy, I'll kick you out because I'm sick of you complaining. And if you want to stay, I'll increase the rent by 12%. Basically because he really wants me gone. Because nobody else seems to complain at him. I do, because I call out bullshit. And now I'm in a situation where, I've realized he can kick me out. So I don't have a contract. He can kick me out. And if he just comes around tomorrow and says, you're done, get out of my apartment, there's no appeal I can have. There's no lawyer I can get. And it's like, shit, I've got nowhere to live. I'm in Mexico still, which is not really, it's not the country I grew up in, although I know a lot of people. And now maybe...
And it's beautiful and warm, too.
Exactly. But now it's like, be careful what you wish for. Or God is saying, Adam, you are right. You do deserve better. You need to get out of that place, and is allowing it to happen if this guy does throw me out. So I can cry. People are saying, Adam, you're so calm about the fact that you might be getting kicked out of your apartment and you've got nowhere to live. I'm like, yeah, I trust the universe. It will all work out, and maybe it's meant to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So that's what's going on with me with the apartment. I'm staying loyal with it. As mate, there's 20 in the live, 23 likes. Like Super Bowl 56 was 2023. The scoreline next year is going to be a big one. So yeah, like
What's up, lad?
I was saying, when I was saying this, there was 20 in the live, 23 likes, like Super Bowl 56, 2023, the scoreline. But
yeah, for real.
Yeah. So what do you think that is, mate? Do you think you saying like be careful what you wish for, but in a positive way, weren't you? That's what you said to me.
So what I said was this, is that you put out into the universe, or to God, or to the source, you said many times to me,
to many different people,
that apartment.
Yeah.
And now you're being put in a situation that you've created through all those times when you said you didn't like, and not said, but felt that you didn't like your apartment. And now the universe is saying, or God, or whatever you believe in, which is fine. The universe is saying, hey, you will not be in this apartment anymore because this is not what you wanted. And now it's going to be a little more forceful than the last time you could have gotten out of it when you looked at homes or whatever else.
Well, Kara in the chat has just said something which is amazing. Your energy's outgrown the place. The universe wants you to move on.
Exactly.
Wow.
I love that, man.
That's not me. This is somebody called Kara. Your energy's outgrown the place. The universe wants you to move on. Wow.
I love that. I love that so much.
And somebody's saying that gambling is one of the loneliest places in the world. I have to agree with that as well.
I agree as well. I love that.
God, there's some amazing people in this chat tonight. I knew they would be. Like, the people in the chat would be open-minded. Most people won't give a shit about us talking about the power of perspective if they can't win money from it. Unfortunately, that's most people in this truth community. Like I've told you, all my highest views are talking about the NFL being rigged or the Champions League final, and that's where I get all my views. This type of stuff, unfortunately, not many people watch, but the people who do watch it love it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, so it's not always about, oh, this video has the most views, so it's your best video. No, that's not how it works, in my opinion, at all. That's not, again, it's all perspective with what's somebody's favorite, but the more views something has or the more money somebody has doesn't judge the success of it or the quality of it. You know what I mean? That's why you can get Muppets going to #1 in the music industry, which is terrible music, in my opinion. But mate, let me get back to that 617 being the 113th prime and 113 being the number of deception. So 617, if you write it out, it looks like the word light.
So, mate, what were you saying about the 113 earlier before we got cut off?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So 113 is the number of deception, and 617 is the 113th prime, yeah?
Yep.
And the word 617 in reverse looks like the word lie. I'm going to type 617 in the chat. Look at 617 in the chat, guys. 617 is the 113th prime, the number of deception, and the word 617 looks like lie in reverse. I noticed that.
That's amazing, mate.
Mate, I just looked at the call. Mate, it was 11 minutes and 3 seconds. Can you confirm that? Mate, we were just talking about 113. I said that we were 11 minutes and 3 seconds into the call.
Oh my gosh, mate.
Can you confirm that? Can you see the time? We're on 11:30 now, like 113. So as I was saying about the 113, me and Jay Sol was speaking for 11 minutes and 3 seconds. Maybe that is why he cut out and we disconnected for that moment.
That's exactly it, mate. That's exactly what I mean. That's amazing.
Somebody's saying like Neil Armstrong, supposedly the first man on the moon. Neil has the word lie within his name if you look at it that way.
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, and he has the Neil Alden Armstrong, so it's Neil A, like alien in reverse. But women are grounding for men and vice versa. Men are grounding for women when they're upset. Some great comments in there. Somebody's saying being a Mason was seen as only for elites and very strictly a secret invite, only not the cod anyone social club kind of thing, and they don't get too esoteric anymore. Do you think that's right? Like back in the day with Freemasonry and secret societies, it was like a real privilege to join it, and now anyone can join it? Do you think that anyone can join these secret societies? Hello? You still there? Okay, I can't hear him. Can't hear him, fortunately. This conversation is the language of the soul, Adam. That's beautiful, Anfield FC. Anfield in Gematria gets you 33. Yeah. So, okay, somebody's made a really good point here. Wow. Freemasonry was not a secret society and still isn't. Do you believe Freemasonry is a secret society, or they've always been open to it? Just maybe what goes on within Freemasonry is a secret, but the fact that it's a society has never been a secret.
I love that, mate.
Yeah, Freemasonry isn't a secret society, is it? It's very obvious that Freemasonry exists. It's been in your face our whole lives. We've just not been aware of it. They've not like intentionally hid it. They've just not promoted it.
Yeah, I agree.
God, there's some people coming out with some beautiful comments here. Yeah, all I said to that guy, I just said, take responsibility for your life, bro. Much love.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people, I basically told a lot of people tonight, don't bet on that Warriors game. Don't. And a lot of them said, no, I'm not gonna. God, yeah, it's. What do I do with this? I guess I'll just trust my gut, my instinct, because you still get that major thrill when you write, because you can reveal the deception. But I am also at a point now where if I go back and look at my work, I've done enough now to show people that sports are coded. I'm not going to say rigged, they're coded. Yeah. I don't know what more I can do. I've proven it in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the Premier League, the Olympics, in golf. I've shown it, like, incredible information to show you that these sports are coded. How many more videos do I have to keep doing to show people? Like, at this point, if they haven't got it or they don't want to get it, they're not going to get it, are they?
No, you don't have to do any more, mate.
I'm getting to that point with it. Like, I'm getting to that point with it. And I know you can get disillusioned with things, but I think it's for the betterment for myself. If I just, I would, mate, if I was going live 2 or 3 times a week doing this, and we just had like 100 people watch us, I'd get probably more joy than that, than talking about who's going to win the upcoming Super Bowl. No.
Let's do it, mate. I'm down for it.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Mate,
like,
but check this out. What happened with the apartment was that you said you didn't want it for a long time, and then eventually it manifested that you're not allowed to be there any longer, unless you want really expensive circumstances. Now listen, eventually it's going to come a time when coding sports is going to be like forced out of your life if that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's all.
So when you say things like you're not supposed to do it, what do you mean by that?
It's not your highest good. That's
okay.
What I should say.
All right, that's beautiful. Because I think for a long time it was serving me financially, spiritually, emotionally, and revealing deception. I think it was serving me.
Me as well, mate.
And especially since I stopped gambling, it was really, I felt like this sports code, it is going to wake up another 10, 15 people. And now I'm at a point now, if the illusion, if people start talking about the illusion and this guy and look at the stuff that is predicted and my videos start getting more popular, I've provided enough examples to show people, listen, this is what it is. I don't need more at this point. I'm not a guy who's done 1 or 2 videos showing you this.
Or that this is what you think it is.
Yeah, John SoCal is talking about Dallas. No, mate, the annoying thing is in multiple lives I said that Warriors were winning the series 4-1. And you can go back and watch them. So many, and then the shooting, I don't know.
That's fine, mate. It's okay to get one thing wrong.
It's not about that. It's just the whole thing of, again, you've been in that situation so many times where you called it and then didn't bet on it, and you can't help but get like agitated because the first code. I get agitated. The first code that I wrote today for this game was the Dallas code, and I've done it multiple times where I've done that and then deleted it. And then I just think, Adam, why didn't you just post both to give them both? And then I got rid of the whole Dallas one to rewrite the Warriors one. So again, maybe I didn't trust myself.
Sometimes it's, remember there was a, mate, but let me recall this. There was a game that you were so excited about. I remember the game too. I think it was on a Saturday. You were so excited about, and you were certain. And then I said to you, mate, I've got it. It's the other team, and I crushed. I did. I made. Listen, I'll say the whole story. You felt pretty crushed actually because you respect my work a lot, maybe too much. And
I said that to you. I actually said maybe I respect your work too much. I think people do that with me. I think people respect my work too much, so it hurts them even more when a code misses because they put me on a pedestal that I'm this god of coding. I get messages all the time. Illusion, you are the god of coding. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not even close, man, in my head. I just go, thank you. I'm not going to go, what you're talking about. I go, thank you. But yeah, I think I respected your work too much and went against my own.
So listen, though, mate. Listen to the whole thing, though. See, you said that to me, and you were pretty upset because the team you picked won, I think, really easily that game. But listen, though, mate. The next day, I found an even harder lock city that we came to together, and not only did we win the money back, but we felt even better and understood why that had to. It might have been 3 days later, but it was within that time span, and we did it together, and you and I both realized why it had to happen, that we had that little rift, and then we came back together and we actually got one right, and we didn't know it had to happen until the future, and we realized, okay, we got it right together again. We just need to be more, we need to be a little bit more discerning as far as each other's work. That's all.
That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I felt so strong about it, and I was kicking myself for not listening to myself. And I think again, that's what this guy's saying in the chat. I knew I shouldn't have bet on it, and when I said I should have bet, I didn't bet. It's like there's a lesson to be learned in everything, good and bad. You take lessons from it all, and some people are really good. Some people are really good at learning from these lessons. A lot of people continue to get the opportunity to learn and they don't. Yeah. And then they're still blaming it like it's your fault, Illusion, it's Zach's fault, it's the world's fault, it's the Jesuit's fault, it's everyone's fault but mine. Like it's not my fault in the slightest.
Do you know that someone who would be a part of the Masonry or the Jesuits or whatever, they would be laughing at this person who's acting powerless because it's really not. They
want that. And again, here's the reality, right? This is funny thinking about this out loud. I said that team would win. They won, but I liked your code better. I convinced myself your code was better. I went against my original code. Is that in any way your fault?
No.
Not 1%, is it? It's not like you provided a code. I thought your code was better than mine, even though I went against my gut. and I backed your code. I lost, and would it be right for me to say that fucking Jay Saul, what a prick? Really? He talked me out of my own pick, but you never did talk me out of it. You never said you never said like Illusion, Adam, mate, don't bet like on that code. Like mine's 100% better. You were like, here's what I have. Like you said, maybe I'd be careful with that because there's definitely stuff for the other team. And
yeah, I just said that this is what I found, and that I think I've got it. That's what I said. I said I think I've got it, but I don't think I said to you like to not do your code.
No, you've never ever said that. And the key word in all of this, which I use a lot, is again at the beginning of my code. I think blah 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 is gonna win.
Right.
Like people need to understand. I'm saying I think. I'm not saying I know 100% that tonight this team is winning, because I'd bet my whole life on it if I knew 100%.
Exactly, mate.
So it's the real ones. The real ones are going to stay loyal to me, and I know the real ones. Clow, who I had a chat with from Ireland, she might be coming to visit me. An amazing girl. Flinny. The list goes on. Chuck Chulo. The list goes on of the people who are with me. Happy Face Man, Manny Martian, all of these people that we are a family. And then sometimes you get people who are not invited to the party, wedding crashers.
Yeah.
They just appear and then, but okay, they're going to come and they're going to go. And I think I'm going to always have about 20% of my Patreon of these wedding crashers who appear, or they've heard incredible, the Illusion's the greatest coder ever. I've won so much money from his picks. And then they come thinking, oh my God, this guy's going to change my life. This one guy, I'm going to give him $10 a month and he's going to change my whole life. And that's not how it works, baby. I might influence you. I may inspire you. I may win you money along the way, but it's not me winning you it. It's you, baby, for placing the bet. It's not me who wins it for you. It's you who took the chance on the code or whatever it may be. You win the bet. You lose the bet. I may have inspired your decision-making process.
Yeah, you're decoding it and they're gambling on it, so it's up to them.
But the fucking word gambling is gamble. People don't know what that word actually means. Like, that's why I say they've got to take the words like lockout.
Tell us what it means. What does gambling mean to you?
Basically, gambling's taking a dangerous or risky action in the hope of a desired result, which is not concrete.
There you go, mate.
Where there's no definite answer to it. It's a gamble. It's the opposite of certainty, if that's even a real thing, being certain about anything in reality. If we don't even know what our reality is, what is certain. So, yeah, I've had to do posts every now and again, like saying this, like, be careful when you gamble. Like, you don't have to gamble all the time. If it's affecting your mental health, don't do it. Bet what you can afford. The best advice with gambling, someone's saying gambling's 38, the death number, but the best advice for me with gambling is bet what you're willing to lose.
Yeah, always.
That's it. I'm not saying don't gamble. I'm not saying gamble twice a week. I'm saying gamble what you are willing to lose where it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, always.
That's it. It's so straightforward. And somebody, I won't say the name because I've got a lot of respect for this person in my community, was like, I need a big win or I can't pay my rent this month. And it's like, I'm not going to feel that pressure, like for this code to hit for you.
Because you're not the reason that he's in that position.
Exactly.
Or he or she are in that position. You're not the reason.
I know. But when you're gambling to pay your rent, then that is an extreme gamble.
But mate, it's tough to. Let's go back to what we said earlier. It's tough to make money when it's like needed versus when it's fun.
Oh, mate, when we were winning our most money is when we really didn't care about money.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were like, oh god, yeah. Remember when we were talking about $300, $400 being like the equivalent of $5? We didn't care.
And we were doing it, and we were doing it awesome.
And we had no value for money at all. But now I'm not gambling. Now I'm not gambling. I appreciate money, so it's a different thing. I'd rather appreciate it than, I always say, I'd rather be like mediocre in regards to my finances than be mega rich where I have no value for money. I'd rather have money where I'm comfortable, but I can't just go to the Bahamas for 3 weeks next week. I don't know if I'd ever want that level of financial freedom. I know people may disagree with that and say you're talking shit, but I'm telling you my truth. I don't know if I'd want it that I could get whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. I like the chase. Like do you remember when you're younger and you really like a girl, and you know, shit, this is going to be a tough one, and I've got to work hard for them. I've got to flirt with them. Like I've got to be on top of my game. I'd much rather that than know that the girl is just going to lap it up within a second. Okay, I've got this girl. Boom.
That's why people say like we want what's like, they say we want what we can't have, but let's just say we want what's more challenging for us to attain rather than if everything was given to us.
Wow. Life, yeah, that whole thing, you want what you don't have. Well, I don't want HIV and I don't have that. So that's nonsense.
Right, exactly.
So yeah,
like we want what's challenging.
Yeah, like you want what you don't have. Well, I don't want a small dick. Woo, baby! Sorry, it's got a bit of humor for the guys in the chat, baby. But yeah, there's a lot of these. Mate, oh god, what is going on here? Sorry if you're young listening to this. Just a bit of banter, guys. So what I'm saying, you get these expressions like, you always want what you can't have. It's like, what a load of shit that is. I think what you said, what the majority want is the things that are difficult to acquire.
Yeah, they want something challenging.
Yeah, exactly. We love to be challenged. Although a lot of people don't like to be challenged in many ways as well, though. Do you get that? Where a lot of people are comfortable being comfortable.
Yeah, there's so many different types of people out there. Like I said, oh yeah, mate, I didn't get to say about the astrology thing. So basically, it's all down to the person. Some people want something that's a little easier, like you're saying now. They want a relationship that's going to be, okay, we have similar interests, and it's easier, we don't clash on anything. And other people want something very, let's just say, intense and aggressive and passionate and energetic. And it's all down to the person and what's best for you, So it's not really like, oh, we all want challenge. No, it's not true. But a lot of us do want challenge because it helps us feel accomplished and like we're doing something purposeful,
Brody in the chat said something that makes a lot of sense to me. He said, then you get it and then you want something else more, never satisfied. Think about this, right? Let's think about sex. You know the people who are like, I want to have sex every day. I want to have sex with different beautiful women every day, yeah?
Yeah.
What if you're having sex like 100 times in a day? Do you think you'd still be as satisfied when you're having sex for the 97th time in that day than the first time? No. You won't have that same level of satisfaction. You'd be like, it would end up becoming a chore. Like, I don't need to have sex that amount of times, but the thought of it is like, whoa, wow, God, imagine doing that. Imagine having sex that amount of times in one day with beautiful women. And then when you're actually doing it, it's like, oh, here I go again. I'm having sex with a different beautiful woman. Great.
It's a balance between, you said that's what Brody said?
Well, Brody was basically implying that when you do get what you've desired, you then want something else, or then you're not actually as fulfilled as you thought you would be. Like they say that when you fulfill your dream, it can be one of the worst things that actually happens in your life.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's perspective. I like personally to set goals. Like when I'm in the gym, like I want to hit this bench press with this amount of reps in this amount of time, and it's good for me. And then, I do chase after something after that too, but that's important for me because I keep growing that way. But
What?
I mean, that's not everyone. You know, that's just how I work.
There's a word here that you can ignore, okay? Because I know you hate this word, but I'm going to say it, okay? So,
What word?
so somebody said, I've learned a lot about makeup from inverts. There's always a positive payback. So basically, like, for example, that James Charles, who's a man who puts on makeup and people get really angry with him or her or whatever you want to say. She's like, well, he still taught me how to put makeup on. So I'm grateful to whoever it is. That's what this person's trying to say.
Yeah, fine. I mean, I'm not big on the invert stuff, but I don't care. I mean, if y'all feel good about what you're doing, that's good.
That's what you're saying. So
really,
yeah. If somebody wants to connect with these people and they learn from them and these people bring them joy, but for me, I want to slap them in the face. That is what it is. They're not wrong. I'm not right with it. Like, we can say whatever we want about these people. I have my say on it. I have my beliefs on it, and I'll present the information. A lot of people connect with what I say. A lot of people hate what I do. And I always say to those people, if you hate what I do, stop watching, baby.
And they keep watching, huh?
But they continue to watch. Yeah, of course they do, even though they hate it. Little things like that. If your soul and spirit's saying, I don't connect with this, and it's actually annoying me, then just don't watch.
Don't watch, man. Yeah, exactly.
Pro sports annoy me. I don't watch them anymore. TV annoys me. I know maybe I might eventually get back into it. So I don't have any TVs anymore. I don't watch the news. That annoys me.
Good for you, man.
I know, and I'm definitely in the minority with that, but I know what pisses me off. I think one of the best things in life is this: knowing what pisses you off and avoiding it, and knowing what you love and embracing it.
Yeah.
Truly knowing what you love and what brings you joy and what takes you to the next level. Do it as often as you can. And the things that are really bringing you down, avoid them. Like, the only thing bringing me down now really is my apartment. I have to do something about that. It's on me. So I am going on Thursday with my mate Andy, and we're going to look around loads of apartments. It's on me. Nobody's magically going to come to my house and knock and say, hey, I've got this wonderful apartment for you, Adam. No, that's not how it's going to work. I have to go out and do it. But I've learned the things that bring me joy: teaching, coaching, working out, having nice food. I do it as often as I can. Knowledge, reading, writing, singing, the things that bring me joy, I do them. And the things that I don't like doing, I just don't do them. There's certain things in your life that you kind of have to do that you don't like. The washing up, all right? Yeah, cleaning your house. If some people do enjoy that, they may enjoy that.
I like cleaning.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do. A lot of people, it actually calms them down, and you get that sense of reward at the end when everything's clean, don't you? But there's certain things I know that I don't like, so I'm not going to do them. And it's things that it's things that I don't have. Like, I know you don't necessarily have to do many things, but there's things that are optional for me. Like, I don't think it's optional for me to leave all my plates in the sink for like a year and not wash them up. Like, it is, I guess it's an option. I could do that, but I'm not a scruffy twat. It would make me sick. But like going to watch a pro sports game or doing X, Y, and Z, working a 9 to 5, I refuse to do that. I can make those decisions and then trust the universe and trust myself to not have to go back to doing that again. So,
and the universe will support you in your efforts.
I think if the universe knows that you're genuine with what you want, and it's genuine and it's not all ego motive, they will look after you. I put people above myself practically everything now. And yes, there's times where you got to focus solely on yourself. But I was a very selfish person growing up. It was all about me. I thought I was better than everybody at almost everything. And like, I was a nice guy, but I always thought about myself. And now, like today, this is a just a nice story, and it wasn't much money. But again, it wasn't about the money. I'll tell you, I don't know if I shared it with you or it was somebody else, but I came back from coaching. I go to the bakery. I get a little cake because I'm always like, it's just something that keeps me going, a bit of energy. And I went in there, and there's the mother and a daughter, and the mother is probably in her 50s, and the daughter is mid-20s, but the daughter is in a wheelchair. She's completely handicapped and she can't talk. But every time I go in, I try and I make sure I look her in the eye and smile. But a lot of the time, it's like she can't smile most of the time. And today, and it's not a lot at all, I got this bun and I paid with 20 pesos, which I don't even know. I think it's $1 in the US. And it came up to 14 pesos. So I got 6 pesos change. It's funny because I'm talking about this Champions League final. There's all these 14s and 6s for Real Madrid to win. But I got the change and I put it in the hand of the disabled girl, right? And she squeezed my hand, although I don't think she can smile. She squeezed my hand, and then the mum got really emotional. And all I gave her was 6 pesos, which is nothing. It might get her like a bottle of water. And when I did that, I was like, oh my goodness, that was amazing. Because I gave her attention. It wasn't about the amount. I could have given her $600, 6,000. I think it would have been the same. The way she grabbed my hand, mate, was like, she said thank you without saying it because she can't speak. And I was like, oh my God, that was just, they're the connections and stuff that I want to have in my life. And again, God showed me there, or angels, that this ain't about fucking money. This is about love. What I did there was a loving act, and she felt it, and her mother felt it, and the energy was just out of this world. Over 6 pesos, mate, which might not even get you a bottle of water. I gave her attention. I gave her attention and not forced attention. Well, maybe it was because I always intentionally go out of my way to smile, even though I know she can't smile.
But it feels right. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that.
I know, although she can't smile and speak, that she knows what I'm doing. She knows that the act of smiling, I'm being positive towards her. She knows that, I think. Or maybe she doesn't, but I feel like her soul.
Absolutely. No, she knows.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was more her squeezing my hand or the mother's reaction. Because she's just sat there, mate. She's sat there in the wheelchair. She can't talk or move. And she's just sat there. It's not like she can take your money or anything and stuff. She's just sat there all the time. And she looks so miserable, which is, I guess, understandable. But it's the tiny little details, man. The amount of times now I'm giving... There was a guy who... I don't know if he was homeless or if he was on drugs or whatever he was, or if he was just... You don't know people's stories, do you? When it comes to that, like homeless people. Maybe they used to have a house and a beautiful marriage, and then they got addicted to alcohol and gambling and they lost everything, and now they're homeless. You don't know people's stories. Maybe somebody pumped heroin in their arm by accident, like just... Not by accident, but intentionally to get them addicted to it. Or you don't know people's stories.
Yeah.
And I was in a store the other day, like a 7-Eleven, and there was one guy, all he was doing, he would open the door for you. And clearly he was opening it, not just to be a good guy, although it was a nice act. It was because he wanted some money for food or whatever it was, whatever he needed it for. And he opened the door for me. I already made the decision. As I got in, going out, he was getting some money from me. I already made that decision. And as I went out, he opened the door for me. I gave him some money and I told him in like Spanish, like, have a beautiful evening. And the same thing again, his eyes like almost welled up. And I only gave him like $1. And his eyes were like, it was like, and again, what's the dollar to me? Not being big time, but in reality, what is it? If I lost $1 now, I wouldn't even know I've lost it. For him, if he lost $1, it would really know about it. It would crush him. So he wasn't sat on his ass begging. He was opening the door for people. He was doing a noble, caring act for people. He wasn't just sat there begging. And I like that he did that. So yeah, I do these things all the time. I gave shirts to homeless people, buy people hot dogs. I get more joy in other people now. Like when I'm coaching and I see them do something amazing, I scream for joy. It gives me more joy than scoring a goal myself. Something's changed with me with that because, mate, I was so unbelievably, it was all about Adam. Everyone said your ego's so big. You might be good at this, that, and the other, but my God, you don't have to tell people about it. And I show glimpses of that in my lives where I get really cocky because somebody's called me out. But yeah, mate.
You've changed. You've evolved.
Evolved is the word. Evolved is the word. Yeah, because we always change. Every second of the day you change. Just like the weather always. You've got climate change. The climate changes every second. It's always been climate change. But I've evolved. That's the word. I've evolved. I'm the same person but very different at the same time. And
You've evolved, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The joy I get from helping others, and that is very biblical, where you got to help your fellow man, put them before yourself. Like, I don't know the exact verse, but
that's somewhat true. I mean,
somewhat, yeah.
The point is that your oxygen mask is already secured, so you can help someone else secure theirs on the airplane, so to speak.
Oh wow, that is a good analogy. Yeah, they literally say on the plane that don't help anyone else until you've helped yourself, don't they? When it comes to that,
yeah,
they say you have to make sure that you can breathe before you help somebody else breathe. That's what they say on the planes.
And that's what I'm saying is that you're able to help these people because you're doing well and you've taken care of you are taking care of yourself. You know.
Yeah, so I wanted to share that. Again, not to blow my own trumpet. I'm not in it now where I need people to go, oh, the illusion's such a sweetheart. I don't need people telling me that or how good I am or whatever it is. I share those stories because they mean something to me. And they meant something to those people. And it's just small things. Sometimes the smallest thing are the biggest things. What's that expression? Sometimes the smallest things are the biggest things. You do a small act of kindness, which can have a major influence on somebody's life. Just a tiny act of kindness. You don't have to do this big spectacle and a big show to show how much you care about somebody. It can just be something really small. Whether that's physical, what you do for somebody, or verbally. You don't need a song and a dance.
Absolutely, lad.
Like you don't need to buy somebody a diamond earrings to show that you love them. You might buy them something worth $1. You might do a painting for them.
Or you might pick them a rose out of the garden, mate.
Or you might write a song for them.
Or you might sew them a piece of clothing.
Exactly. That they really value and that they know that you've put time and effort into it rather than just gone with a piece plastic and bought them whatever they wanted. Like, again, if you have that amount of money, it's not really that much of a noble act, is it? When a rich person buys you a wealthy gift, I'd much rather.
No, I think it still is, mate, because it's not about it's not like you're saying. It's not about the value, mate. So if they buy you a big gift, it's still very generous. But the idea is that it's generous regardless of the price.
No, I'm saying that I'd get much more appreciation out of somebody putting time and effort into something than somebody just ordering something on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Oh, no, anytime somebody looks after you and treats you and gifts you and thinks about you, it's a blessing. But I'm saying somebody really going out of the way to do something for you rather than, okay, you want that? Okay, just order it. Here's my card.
Right.
That's not the same for me. Like, that's not the same.
No, I agree, man.
Somebody said, what does it mean to be rich? Rich for me is when you're fulfilled. Because you can be rich financially, but so unfulfilled with your life. You can be rich with knowledge. It's not just rich with wealth, is it? You can have a wealth. Well, you can have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. People always associate wealth with money, but wealth for me is when you have a vast amount of something, and it doesn't have to just be money. So to be rich, I think to be rich is where you literally.
To go.
What's that?
Well, to like logically agree with you. When you eat something that's rich, it's because the food is like very filling and it's very like thick and it's like
Yeah,
you
like,
know, like chocolate, like a rich
yeah, like
chocolate.
like a chocolate cake or something. It's rich,
Exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
So it's not like it's like yeah exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty good question. A gift from the heart is far more important, somebody said. Somebody said you could save someone's life by an act of kindness. I agree. You might have somebody who's completely down in the dumps, and that one little thing you did for them made them realize the world's not as bad as he thought it was, or she. They might be right at the lowest point of their life, and you just say one thing or give them one smile or give them that 20 pesos where they're on the verge of like, they feel like they're starving, and now boom, I've just bought a taco. Life's not so bad after all.
Mate, that happened last summer. Last summer, there was a guy that I had met. Listen to this, mate. I don't think I've told you this story.
No, I don't know.
I met this guy last summer, and I just saw him one day, and I thought he seemed like a nice dude. So we talked for literally a second. I got his name, and that was it. Another day, this was all synchronicity because I had to do a few things at certain times to be there at that exact moment that I typically didn't do, but I did it that day, right? Like I cleaned my car and I went to a specific place that landed me in this place. So listen, I was cleaning my car and I saw that same guy walk around the building, and then I saw his dog ran up to me, and he didn't know where his dog was. I could tell. His dog came up. It was a big building. His dog came up to me, and his dog was, just being happy and joyful. And I took his dog over to him. I found him, and I said, "Hey, isn't this your dog?" Because I had just seen him a few days earlier, and he was really upset.
Okay.
And basically, I'm not going to give details, but he ended up letting me into his apartment, and we talked, and he said he was upset that that his dog had left, and he felt like everyone had left him.
Wow. You went in some random guy's apartment?
Yeah, mate. And I knew because when he was upset, I said, are you into spiritual stuff? And he said to me, well, not religious stuff. And I said, no, that's not what I mean, but into like, and I explained a little bit, and he's like, yeah, I'm into that. So then I went into his apartment, and mate, I figured out he's an awakened one, mate. This guy that he told me, I'm being honest, this is, I know it's on YouTube, but he told me I saved his life. And
no, I believe you, mate. I'm over 10. I don't know the exact number anymore, which is crazy of people who've said that to me. Okay, let's say this. Can another person save your life?
Before I answer that, mate, I'll just finish this off. He said I saved his life, but mate, I figured out he's an awakened one. He knows about the 9/11. He knows about the scamdemic. He knows about, mate. I didn't know that he knew all this cool, all this esoteric knowledge, and I had just helped him because it was someone I had seen before.
So you're a really good reader of energy, aren't you? You were connected with this person. Did you know that there was a connection there? So I wouldn't randomly go in somebody's apartment. I would have to feel like I was connected to that person. I wouldn't just go in there and sit down with somebody, I don't think, unless it felt right.
It honestly, I can't even say that I necessarily felt the connection immediately, but I did know that I was supposed to be talking to him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that.
So I knew it was meant to be. I just didn't know. And then after a little while, mate, I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, we're super connected. He's got all this cool knowledge, and we started talking. And And then I swapped numbers with him another time, not that day, but a different day. I swapped numbers with him, and I've tried to keep in touch.
So what do you believe about the term "the right place at the right time" or "the wrong place at the wrong time"? Do you think that makes any sense to you? Do you resonate with that? The right place I was at the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, or do you think no, that's the way it was supposed to be? There's no right and wrong with it.
I don't know if they're I would say they're both right and they're both wrong.
So you were the right person for him in that specific moment in his life.
That's why I was there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We'll do a few more minutes because my phone's about to die and I didn't have any dinner and it's almost.
Mate, and I wasn't even, and to be honest, I wasn't even super happy that day. Like I was kind of in a mood before that happened, and then it uplifted me. He actually uplifted me
again. So maybe you needed him like as much as he needed you.
Yeah, or varying degrees, but I agree though. Yeah.
Okay, somebody saying nothing's random. I completely agree. Somebody said the best.
I completely agree.
John said the best gifts come unexpected. I always tell people that if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, son or daughter, don't just buy them gifts on Valentine's Day, the birthday and Christmas. Just randomly come home on a random Tuesday and say, hey, thought about you today. Here's a shirt for you. Here's flowers. Here's your favorite chocolates. That if I ever get serious with any girl again, I will not be playing along with the major dates. I will not be playing along with Christmas, Valentine's Day, birthdays. I won't be playing along with it. I'll make every day special. And I'll go with just what feels right. Okay, I'm thinking about this person. Like, again, if I'm thinking about somebody now, I call them. I never did that. I used to just dismiss it. I think about someone, I go, all right. But now if I think about my mum, I'm like, I'm calling her. If I think about this random person, I'm going to drop a message. I never did that before either.
Mate, that's so interesting that you say that because I've been doing that. I'll text someone if I think of them and I haven't talked to them in 4 years. I'll just text them.
There's a reason why you're thinking about them at that particular point in your life. You're thinking about, and you've got to drop them a message. Most people ignore it, just like most people ignore like their intuition, their gut instinct, like. Which is one of the most powerful things that we possess, but we dismiss it. And we've been guilty of that many times. I think we all are guilty of it, where you dismiss your gut instinct and what feels right to you. We sometimes our logical brain takes over rather than our spiritual guidance, if that's what you want to say, Colin.
Yeah, and that's kind of how they teach us to be, mate.
Yeah, I guess that we are trained to think logically, aren't we? And then if you think logically, you get your degree and you're a success in this world. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And when I say that, I don't mean that we're victims. What I mean is it's up to us to shift into that creative astral mind outside of the logical sometimes.
Yeah, well, again, logically, people said, why would you leave Los Angeles? Like, you've got an amazing lifestyle. People said to me, why did you leave England? You were playing semi-pro football. You were teaching physical education. You had a beautiful girlfriend. Logically, it's like, why would you give that up? Spiritually, it's like, I didn't feel like I wanted to be there anymore. I felt like I needed to go somewhere else. So I guess throughout my whole life, I have pretty much listened to my spirit, but now I'm more aware of my spirit. But I've always listened to it because I was always I'm not going to say black sheep because that implies I was like the outcast, never been an outcast. Maybe with this knowledge I am now, but I was the only person in my family that took a chance, that lived in a different country, that did this, that, and the other. And that's because my spirit told me, but I didn't know that it was my spirit speaking to me because I wasn't aware of even having a spirit, if you get what I mean. And now the more I'm aware that we are spiritual beings and the most powerful thing we possess is our spirit, I'm now very conscious of the decisions I make and who's guiding them, which are angels most of the time. That. So that's been a beautiful thing for me. And long may it continue. I think the more you get synced with the universe and in sync with your spirit, the more beautiful the world becomes. Like the people right now are like the world's sick and evil and we're doomed and it's Zach's fault and it's your fault, illusion. That mindset is people who've not really figured out that they're spiritual beings. They're still just think in their head they're humans,
right.
and
Mate,
they're gonna die,
I
and that's
say,
it.
Mate, I've been saying for a long time, what's the point of being a decoder if you're negative?
Wow.
I say, what's the point of being woke if you're negative? Then you're not even applying any of the principles. It's not worth it.
It's a waste of time, isn't it? It's actually detrimental to you.
It's detrimental, and those are the people that say everything's bad for you, mate. And it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Many things are good for us. Many things are good for us as long as we are perceiving it that way.
Again, your thoughts dictate your reality. If you start saying everything's bad for you, then your reality is not going to be a positive one. Everything's going to be bad. Your brain's like, this sucks and that sucks. So you might have all this knowledge and think you're super woke, but you're super depressed, and then you're depressing people around you.
And then you're not woke because you're actually worse off than someone who's not aware of that stuff.
There's multiple ways and avenues you can go with this knowledge, and I make people laugh. I spread knowledge in a positive way. I can be very real also, and I can spit truth that people might not necessarily like, or at least my truth. But what I do is, with the knowledge that I've gathered through hard work, or maybe just angels guiding me along the way, a combination probably, maybe they're assisting me, I have to put the ball in the net. And I share this information. I try to do it in a way that can inspire people. And that's why I say, if you're just going to get into Gematria, it's cold sports, don't sign up with me. I don't want that energy on my Patreon. I want people who are there like that, you, like somebody like you who can drop me a message, and every time I speak to you, I learn something and go away more inspired than I was before speaking to you. And that's what I want from my lives. That's what I want from my lives. I don't want just people seeing me as this sports decoder. I don't want to be at that level, and that's how I'm known. This guy's one of the best sports decoders. No, I don't want to be known. I don't even want to be known as a decoder. I want to be known as a good guy that inspires me. That's it. I don't even want the title of the coder or the truth community. I don't like it. I'm a guy who speaks his truth, and I try and do it in a positive way to help people. And that's it. And people hate on it. I don't understand it, but that's up to them as well. Perspective.
I kind of have the desire of, like, you know, us doing these lives like once a week or whatever, where people really look forward to hearing like different topics and growing and learning, and not just hearing sports, but like literally hearing about like opportunities and like perceptions and different things that we have to offer, because we're growing, mate. We're always growing.
Yeah, and growth. I think growth is an option as well. You can decide whether to grow or not, or you can just stay where you are. You can limit yourself, or you can basically strive for it. Strive for greatness and growth, and go out of your way to search for it, rather than just having your feet stuck in concrete. I mean, happy with that. Somebody's saying I even make the dog smile with the woofs.
Oh.
So a lot of people are saying negativity is exhausting. Life is all energy, which I always say everything's about energy and energy harvesting, and knowing where to put your energy and who to give your energy to. And how to store your energy too when you have a lot of it. Yeah, and like you said, semen retention helps with you storing energy.
Yes, it helps a ton with that.
Yeah, and trying to cut out anger and frustration in your life helps with your energy levels. Your diet helps with your energy levels, and I guess your sleeping patterns do. It don't really affect me, but I guess we're all different. I can sleep 2 hours and still go live for 5 hours. You know what I mean? I think that's different. That's different. Everyone's different with the amount of time they need to sleep.
What you said about the anger, could you repeat that? Because that's really powerful.
Just like learning how to control your anger and not putting too much energy into the negativity or the negative things in your life, or the people around you that are causing you to feel that anger.
And how to release it in a healthy way.
Yeah, how to release it in a healthy way. or at least decrease the anger, like the way you deliver it, at least decrease it. You might not completely be fine with it, but there's ways around delivering the information you want to deliver. Like if two people in a slanging match screaming at each other, do you think things are going to get resolved that way? Or if it's both sat down and said, all right, you have your bit, I have my bit. Rather than, no, you fuck up. No, you shut the fuck. No, and you're like, wait, nobody's getting anywhere here. I'm not even hearing what you're saying. You're just screaming at me and I'm screaming at you. So you're giving all that energy, but nothing's being resolved at all. And a lot of people give their energy into things that most of the time they never resolve. Maybe they're in a marriage where they're fighting every single day, giving all that energy when they could be actually using that energy to save the marriage, rather than using it to one-up each other and fight each other. So, yeah, energy, knowing how important it is, how to re-energize, and how to spread energy is very important. Somebody's talking about plants, a lot of energy from plants. Somebody speaks to their own plants. I get that. I definitely get that. Everything has energy within this universe. Everything. So if you want to give all your energy to pro sports and gambling, then do that. If you're happy with that, and if that brings you joy, and it's helping you grow. For me, I try to give my energy to a variety of sources. I give my energy to the kids that I coach, the adults that I tutor. I give my energy to you guys doing these live streams for 3, 4, 5 hours consistently. I give energy to myself. Okay, so you got to think about it. I'd no longer give my energy to gambling. It's why I made the consensus decision to stop gambling, even though I was winning a lot of money, because I realized, although money is currency, the most important currency is your energy. And I decided that. So for the people feeling sorry for yourself in this world, do something about it. Make that change that you can make. Stop waiting for a superhero to save you. Stop blaming other people for your misfortunes. Take responsibility. Figure out what the fuck you want from your life, what brings you joy, do it as often as you can, and the things that are bringing you down, get rid of them. And if that includes the job that you hate, that you dread, which you do 40 hours a week, that you hate and dread, give it up. I'm telling you, the universe will look after you. But you'll be thinking about your rent and who's going to pay for the car, and what about little Charlie? I might have to take him out of that private school. It will all work out if you listen to your soul and your spirit. It did for me. I gave up my jobs, coaching in a school, teaching in a school, got paid well. Gave it all up, trusted myself, listened to my soul. So I'm not a guy who just says this bullshit, or so-called bullshit that people say, oh, he's just new age, this guy, he's talking shit. I back up what I say because I've done it. I've taken chances on myself. I've given up the things that don't bring me joy or fulfillment or personal growth. It's very easy to say what I'm saying, but I've actually fucking done what I'm saying. That's what separates me from most people with this knowledge. Yes, we are scared of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is very real, but is fear real or is fear an illusion? Instead of fearing the unknown, why don't you embrace the unknown? Embrace the unknown. Embrace not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. Would you want to know exactly what's going to happen? The moment you wake up, this is what your day is going to be. Here's a 5-minute video to show you exactly how your day is going to play out. Would you want to watch that video? I wouldn't. Mystery is beautiful. It's glorious. It's sacred. So I said, I wouldn't want to be able to decode every single outcome and know who was going to win. I get no fulfillment anymore from it. I wouldn't. Brody quit a big paying job because of the stress and negative energy. Now he feels relieved and drove home that day. No more bullshit. Much love to you. My friend from Texas did that. He was making millions a year, gave it up. His wife didn't want it. They were arguing about it. And now he said he feels like 20 years younger. He's never been happier. Is he as rich financially? Absolutely not. But why have all that money to just be working, and then when you get home, you're stressing, and then you die of that heart attack in your mid-50s, a millionaire? That's not successful. Financially, yes. But again, remember, man made money. Money is man-made. Money is an illusion. It's a control tool. Do we need it in the system? Yes. When somebody sends me a tip, am I extremely grateful? Yes. Am I going to give away all the money I possess now because it means nothing? No. But money is man-made, just like religion. Your spirit is God. It's the most powerful thing you possess, your spirit. It is not man-made. Man does not give you spirit. You cannot buy spirit on eBay, baby. It's within you. And the most powerful things within this world are the things within you and the things you cannot see. Your spirit, your soul, your consciousness. Things you're not going to buy from Jeff Bezos on Amazon. So again, it's your life. It is your life. You have a big say in where your life goes. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your boss or your wife for holding you back. Stop blaming the injury you got when you were 18. Okay? It's all meant to happen for a reason. The whole victim mentality needs to stop. Because when you play the victim, all you're doing is giving your power to somebody else. When you're powerless, you're providing other people with power and you're not even aware of it. Bad things will happen in your life. My car messed up today. I got it fixed. It cost me a little bit of money. It ruined my whole plans for today. Somebody scratched down the side of my car for no reason. Whether it was an accident or deliberate, I don't know. I dealt with that. All right, I didn't go crying about it and blaming everybody. Oh, if only I would have parked on a different street. It might not have happened. It happened. Deal with it. This whole what if mentality needs to change as well. Well, just what if I would have done that? And what if I would have taken that job? What if I would have taken that job? You didn't. Now stop bitching about it. Deal with the right now, baby. The present, because the present is a gift. It's why it's called the present. Stop obsessing over the future and living in the past. Focus on right now. All right? I appreciate all of you for listening to this. Jay Sol is one of the most inspirational people I've ever come across. And I've never in my life met him. I've never shook his hand. Never had a drink with him. Okay, I've never met his parents, his girlfriend, whatever it may be. But you see our connection. You see how synced up we are. We're meant to be in each other's lives. We're meant to be. And that's God. All right? That's not the Jesuits that put me and Jay Sol together to have this connection. It's the spirit that we share. And that's why we connect. Find the people you connect with. Okay? Find them. Or maybe they'll find you. Maybe it's organic. But within this world, guys, within this world, there's so much possibility. It's beautiful. The world is fucking beautiful. The universe is sacred. It's glorious. Yes, the system is satanic. It is. There's no denying that at this point. And we can blame the Masons and the Jesuits. Or we can take responsibility and collectively change the way we see the world. Collective consciousness is real. Right now, the collective consciousness that we're operating on is negative, low frequency, because of the mainstream media. So spread positivity. You're going to have your shitty days. You're going to have a shit day at work. You're going to lose 400 quid on a bet. You're going to get injured playing footy. You're going to miss that penalty in the last minute and know your team didn't win. A girl's going to dump you. All right? These things will happen in your life. Somebody will scratch the side of your fucking car. It's going to happen, baby. It's part of the show. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to what happens to you. Stop playing the victim. All right? Make people laugh. Make them laugh. Woo! I can just do that and make people laugh. I can say, baby, it makes people laugh. So I keep doing it. Does it annoy some people? I don't have to worry about the ones that it's annoying. I have to worry, or at least focus on the ones that I'm bringing joy to. We always worry about what other people think of us. All the time, don't we? Social identity, these social constructs. I wonder what she thinks about. Should I say that? Because maybe they'll get offended. Maybe you'll inspire somebody by what you're about to say, rather than thinking about you might offend somebody with what you've got to say. I talk about controversial topics. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I know there's X amount of people who are going to love what I'm saying, and I focus on them. And I always will. I'm going to do all I can right now, starting today, to appreciate the hate. People are going to hate on me. It is what it is. It's their perspective. It's how they see my work and the way I present my work. That's on them, and they're not wrong, because there's nothing about being right and wrong when it comes to an opinion. If people think I'm a shill, people think I'm whatever they want to say about me. I'm an attention seeker. I'm in it just for the money. That's their truth. That's their truth. Let them have it. Who am I to take that away from them? That's their God-given right, their truth. Right. Yeah, somebody's saying just be yourself. Stop trying to be somebody else or trying to be somebody you think other people want you to be. Be yourself. Appreciate yourself. You are unique. You might not be the fastest. You might not be the most beautiful. You might not be the most intelligent, the most wealthiest. But you have a unique gift, and that unique gift is you. Because you're different to everybody else. Although we're all very similar, we're all unique. So it's very, very easy to focus on the things you don't have, or the things you have that you don't want. Excess body weight, for example, a big nose, skinny legs, a fat ass. Why don't you focus on the beautiful things you do have? The fact that you have eyes and you can see and you're not blind. The fact that, yeah, you might not be the fastest, but you can walk. And some people can. You might not be the strongest, but my word, at least you have arms to lift. Some people don't. We can always complain about the things that we don't have. Start appreciating the things that you do have. Okay, I might not be particularly happy in this apartment, but I do always say to myself, Adam, you have shelter. You have food in your fridge. Internet's pretty shit, but again, it still works. I appreciate these things now that I never did before. I used to, oh God, but now I don't have an ocean view. No, but I have shelter. I come back and it's my place. There's nobody else here trying to influence me. Do this, do that. Watch this. No, I come back and I'm at peace. Sometimes the dog's bark. Sometimes the guy over there plays shit music, but I think it's shit. He loves it. It's bringing him joy. The music's bringing him joy. And I have similar moments where I pound my music. I shared a song recently, Dario G, Sunshine. Beautiful song, because for me, the most beautiful music is music without lyrics. And I shared that because I was hoping somebody would feel the same way I felt about that song when I play it. And it maybe one person did, and the rest thought, what is this shit song? This is terrible. But that one person was like, wow, listening to that song just made me smile. I've got to focus my energy on that. All right? Appreciate the little things, which I do now. I appreciate going for tacos. I don't need lobster anymore. With my wife, we went to 5-star restaurants all the time. It kind of got repetitive. Now, maybe I go by myself and I get a little taco, a couple of them. Can't just have one because I eat a lot for my size. I'm always smiling now. I pray before I eat. Never did that. And that doesn't make me religious. I'm just grateful. Grateful. Great. It's a great feeling to be grateful. Ungrateful is a miserable way of living your life. When you're ungrateful, you get that gift. Oh, this is shit. That's not what I wanted. I wanted an iPhone 13, not 11. Just be grateful that you've got a phone. So yeah, that's been one of the biggest joys of my journey, is appreciating the little things that I took for granted. When I got that bad injury, when that guy tried to snap my leg because I was burning him every time I got the ball, he tried to snap my leg. I was out of work for a week. Do you know what I said to myself? He didn't snap my leg. He made me appreciate walking. When I was finally able to walk a month after, I was so grateful for being able to walk. Prior to him almost snapping my leg, I took it for granted sprinting. So yes, the guy ruined my leg and I lost a decent amount of money, but there was a huge lesson in it. It's no different to, you only appreciate food when you're hungry. You only appreciate sleep when you're tired. You only appreciate water when you're thirsty or when you really want to shower because you stink. All right? Just, even if you're gambling and you lose, appreciate the fact that you had money in the first place to even gamble. To be able to take the gamble. Most people, even if they wanted to take the gamble, can't because they don't have anything. Don't have the option. At least you have the option to take the gamble. Although I would say, just if gambling's not working out for you, just stop. Get rid of the things that are bringing you down. Weigh them up. With gambling with me, winning me thousands of dollars. But it was taking my energy and I felt very lonely and I wasn't interacting with anybody. My life was about gambling and decoding. So I said, what's more important to me? Money that I don't really actually care about. When I realized when I was winning it all, what am I going to do with it? There's not much I want in my life anymore. Or do I want to start going out and getting fit again and meeting people and making people laugh and not looking at my phone to check what the score is? I'd go out, and I still regret it now. When I was with my wife, I really regret it. We'd go out and I'd check my phone. She's like, Adam, can we just enjoy this steak? I'm like, wait, there's 5 minutes left. I need to see if the Clippers are winning. She's like, Adam, my goodness, now I would never, ever do that again. If I ever go on a date again, which I will not be checking my phone to check a score. All right? When it comes to this chat, 90% of the chat is incredible. Positive energy, sharing sacred knowledge. Sometimes, well, I know for a fact, I have given 5-10 minutes of my time to one person calling me out, and then I've ignored all the incredible comments from amazing people. I've given my energy to that one person who's saying, you're a shrew, you're a mason, you're a fraud, you're a liar. I've given all my energy to that person. That won't happen ever again. Touch wood. If they're in there, I will ignore them. I won't rise. Certain times in your life where it's important to rise, there's other times where you like, don't rise to it. I'm going to get better at that. And thanks to Jay Soul, honestly, by doing this live, oh my God, 303, 1999, 303rd prime. By doing this live, I have a different perspective just for this last 3 hours. I hope it's really inspired you to see the world slightly differently, to appreciate the small things, and to not give too much energy to the things that you don't like. Give your energy to the things that you do like. All right? Yeah, choose someone or somewhere that matches your vibration. If you're referring to me, yeah. I work so hard, so hard, make decent enough money now. I always have, but I do deserve somewhere that's going to deserve my energy, because I am a highly powerful, energetic being. And by me being here, the reason I appreciated this place was I was like, it's not going to go to my head. It's going to keep me grounded. I've got all this knowledge, and I had that run in like April of getting almost everything right. It can easily go to your head. I thought if I stay in this little apartment, it's going to keep me grounded. But why? I can stay grounded in an apartment that actually brings me more joy, where I'm excited to go back to, and I can invite people. I don't have to show off and take selfies about it. Don't need an ocean view. But I need somewhere where I'm excited to open the door. And I don't have that here. And I've worked so hard. I'm 36 years old. My whole life I've worked hard. I deserve more. And I'm going to get more, because I know I deserve more. I'm not just going to talk about it. So on Thursday, I'm going to find a fucking place. I'm going to do all I fucking can to find one. Not make excuses. Okay. While my back's tense, I've not ate anything, but it's all been worth it. I think my energy has gone to you guys. I have no issue with that. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. So yeah, thank you, Jay Soul, for inspiring this. You contacted me today. You said we need to do this today, and it's going to change people's lives. I feel like it may have done. And that might sound dramatic and egotistical. I think that this live has had a major impact on people's lives in a positive way. And if it hasn't, it has for me. So I'll take it. All right, I'm going to go eat something, or at least see what I have to eat, and be grateful for it. Thanks to all of you, Amani and Ani. I appreciate you, mate. I appreciate you. I think you're very real. So I appreciate you, lad. I appreciate all of you in the chat. Really do. I don't think I've ever met any of you, but I can feel who you are by what you type. Okay? Smile at people. Say thank you. Like when you're driving, don't be beeping your horn and stuff like that. Let a car go by you. If it's like 50-50 who goes, let them go. Then wave, and then they'll wave back at you. It's beautiful. All right? Tiny things which we can all do to have a positive impact on the universe. Tiny little things that we can all do. Little changes we can all make that are not difficult. I'm not asking you to run a 4-minute mile. Little tiny details. It'll bring you joy, it'll bring other people joy. And that's what it should all be about. All right? Helping yourself, but helping others at the same time. All right, my phone's going wild. My phone's about to die as well. I appreciate all of you. I really do. Especially to my Patreons. Like, you allow me to have a bit more of independence in my life. So I can do these live streams. I'm not worrying about getting up at 5 a.m. to go teach in a school. So thank you. I'll keep doing that for as long as I can. For as long as there's people that care about what I do. You're family to me, and I swear on my life you're family to me. I'm not being cheesy at all. I see you as family. Family is not just flesh and blood. Again, this war that we're in right now, it's not flesh and blood. It's spiritual wickedness in high places. The sooner you recognize that, the sooner that you know who your enemy is, the sooner you can beat your enemy. If you don't know who your enemy is, you'll never beat them. Okay? Thank you. Much love to you all. I'm going to go eat something. My throat's going. Jay Sol, I love you to bits, mate. If you're listening, I don't want to talk about an Arizona shooting. No interest. There's zero interest in the shooting that probably didn't happen. Oh, it was fabricated. Oh, it was all a ritual. I'm not involved in any of it unless I actually witness it and see it for myself. I don't want to talk about shootings, okay, that are going on every single day now. So they basically want to take your guns from you so they can come to your house and grab you and you can't protect yourself. I know what they're doing with the whole thing with the guns. And it brings your frequency down. Just talking about it now is bringing my frequency down. I'm not talking about guns. So much love. Take care. I'll go live whenever I go live. I'm sure I'm going to do a video tomorrow, by the way, about symbolism in the Premier League. It took me ages to find the images, but I'm going to show you some unbelievable connections to show you that these top stars worship the Baphomet and they're mocking Jesus Christ. Well, I'm going to keep revealing the deception, you utter scum bags, baby. Much love to you all. I'm going. Bye-bye.